and welcome to Totally Oblivious. I'm your host, Caleb Perez. I'm here with co-host Alex, and we have our special guest, fiery redhead Jarrett.
Yeah. He was much more enthusiastic before the camera started rolling. He's our friend from high school, a lovely fellow. Are you just going to be giggling the entire time?
No. Yes.
Oh, okay. He's just straight up honest. Well, yeah. Caleb, would you like to explain what's in front of us?
So, a few episodes ago, flashback.
Hey, Sim, I want to see what the datum is. I'm actually kind of curious. Nuggets?
What?
You're editing this in?
I'm going to edit that in.
Yeah,
somehow.
you're going to take the clip and then like put it in black and white. You're going to do like the woo, 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 woo. We got to all look up there.
Okay.
And then go, do you remember? I wasn't there, so you guys have to do it.
There's a crack in the ceiling. What the fuck?
Do you remember when
I just noticed that.
Yeah, you guys both have to look at each other and go, do you back then? And then you have to edit it in and post just woo 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 woo, and then it turns black and white, and then it's
I think Jarrett should be your editor. This is some great
I've never edited a thing in my life.
But it seems like you get the concept down.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, remember that time on episode
I already did it like 3 times while he was explaining 17,
it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa, that were the
Oh, I looked. Okay, we got to do it again because I looked up.
Jesus Christ.
Never mind. The Wheel of Fate said we had to do a 100 nugget challenge, which I had no idea.
Wait, wasn't it rigged though?
It wasn't exactly rigged. It just wasn't put together right. But now it's fixed. So next time we do it, it won't be bad. Also, I like how it was fixed. Like
it kept on rolling chicken nuggets.
We'll call it rigged. I like how it was rigged to the only one I didn't know how the heck I was going to do it.
Oh.
That's why it took so long. I had no idea how I was going to do this 100 nugget challenge.
What were the other challenges?
I don't remember. I just know Alex.
One of them was an E-date, and I don't know how the fuck he was going to do that.
It's not an E-date.
With who?
It's Alex dating sim.
Oh, so are you going to make an Alex? Oh, or are you getting people to partake in an Alex dating sim where Alex is the subject?
I feel like it'd be easier to just create fake people.
My question, are you going to make a game that's just Alex dating sim and have him play it?
Yes.
Also, by the way, there are other recurring guests, the flies.
The plague.
Yes.
Anyways, well, let's get into the nuggets. So the reason...
you get to open it.
My brain...
This isn't a 100 nuggets challenge, by the way. Andrew had 2.
That is true.
This is the 98 nuggets.
So right now, Andrew's ahead of us by 2. So we're pretty much just going to do whoever can eat the most nuggets wins. Whoever eats the least has to eat all those.
I thought it was going to be in the containers, but I guess maybe you don't want that.
It's fine. Whichever. This was...
Want it in a bowl?
Yeah. Well, for the sauces.
Yeah. How are you going to... You're just going to hold with one hand and then go... onto the same thing.
Yeah, idiot.
But I don't know. What do you want?
I'm a guest. You have to do it for me. The barbecue.
There's
Jarrett.
like 3 here.
There's Baby Ray's.
Oh, you want me to pour it for you? Well, actually, I'm the co-host.
Serve our guest
spicy.
co-host. I made these nuggets. You can serve.
I didn't even agree to this idea.
Wait, these aren't.
doesn't
I
matter.
thought these were McDonald's.
No, they're like Tyson chicken nuggets.
They
didn't even get the good shit.
It's so much cheaper to do this.
I'll take this one. Sweet honey. I usually like Baby Ray's, but I haven't tried the sweet one or the spicy one. So
I like honey sauces. So I got honey mustard and honey barbecue. Well, I guess while Jarrett gets situated. Alex, you're a bad co-host.
I think that's the current trend with this podcast.
You know what? You're right.
Well, since we just have to eat chicken nuggets, I guess.
It really isn't anything too extra. It's just we're eating chicken nuggets while we're talking. I don't know why Alex was so mad.
Well, because my mom brought food, and now I seem like an ungrateful son. Hey, I didn't think you would actually do this idea because that was like 4 weeks ago.
Welcome to the club
of
ungrateful sons.
Jarrett, do you think you're an ungrateful son?
Can you hand me the Chick-fil-A?
No.
Okay.
Explain.
No.
No, that it doesn't elaborate. Leaves.
Doesn't elaborate any further.
I don't know. I'm just taking them.
So
I had to get past 2.
So my idea kind of behind this, I'm just going to throw this down here. was that there's a lot of food eating competitions that I've been interested in. And people eat a lot of food, like hot dog eating contests.
Yeah, you don't have as much water. You don't have enough water for that.
Yeah.
They like
This is more casual.
you gotta have the glass they can dip the hot dog in.
True. Well, that's what the sauce
Is
for.
98 divisible by 3?
No,
99 would be. Maybe we can split a nugget in half.
96 would be.
So we have a problem here.
Well, just keep track
No,
of
we
how many
don't.
nuggets
It's
you
about
eat.
whoever wins.
Yeah, whoever eats the most.
I guess. I'm just saying, it's like if we all
I'm at
somehow
4.
manage to eat them all,
Then it's first come first serve. It's about speed.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
So,
Got 'em.
pretty much the only fact about food eating contests is that Jarrett is like prime physique for food eating.
Yeah.
Really?
Skinny, tall, semi-athletic. Opposite of me, pretty much. So
That's my Tinder bio.
If
Opposite of Caleb.
opposite
Yeah.
of Caleb, and then you get all the DMs.
No.
Was that no in response of not getting anything? Hey, don't feel bad though. Like I don't got game either.
I have.
Oh no.
I do fine. I do fine for myself.
That's good to hear.
Good job, Jarrett.
My eyes are
Thank
currently
you.
stuck on the chicken nuggets. My eyes are resetting. Well, we had an interesting discussion before the podcast here, where Jarrett and I were just bringing up musical bands. Why did I say musical bands? I don't know why I said musical. That we just bring up weird things, and I know Jarrett is a bit of a Weezer fan. Do you want to explain your Weezer lore to us?
Don't put that out there.
Don't put that out. Oh, I already did. It's all the Caleb.
All
Caleb
right,
puts these things in there.
Yeah, edit that out, please. Please. I don't want that. I don't want that out. Anyways, I listened to so much Weezer in early high school that I had to stop for 4 years, and it's still. I didn't listen to a single Weezer song for like 4 or 5 years, and it's still my number 1 most played in Spotify.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Do you want me to cut that out, or do you want me to keep it in?
No, you should leave it in. That's
No, that was a joke.
Okay.
that is not a joke. I think you said that before to me.
Oh yeah, no,
This
no.
is a
I was
recurring
saying that it was a joke to leave it in.
Oh.
I already lost count of my nugget. I
No,
think I'm like at 7 or 8 or
I
something.
think I'm at 8.
We're supposed to keep count.
Yes, that's the point.
I'm just gonna fucking eat till I burst, I guess.
Don't worry, Caleb. Are you editing this?
Yeah.
We can actually check how many times I've
We're gonna put
chewed.
a counter here.
Alex just has 1 the whole time.
And you're gonna watch through, and you're gonna see every time one of us puts one in your mouth. You're gonna tally it, and then afterwards you're gonna timestamp it,
Yes.
and then you're gonna put a tally
So we're gonna.
at each timestamp.
I guess, yeah, I was kind of planning on doing that. So,
You don't have to. That was a joke.
You know what?
don't
The
have to-
punishment will come later.
The
We're
punishment.
all going to partake.
The
in
punishment is you have to do
today.
that. You lose no matter what.
Punishment.
I know how
You know what?
video
you're right.
editing sucks. The fact that he has to count every time we eat
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, you just know
that's
why?
gonna blow. That's like several hours of your life wasted away.
Yeah.
Maybe I did win here.
Sounds like my average life.
I think the real challenge. I think the challenge should be that there's no repercussions for me, and whichever one of you eats the less has to edit it and do that.
No.
Well,
yeah,
we'd still,
and
have to, we'd still have to count it.
In here.
and the flashback.
No.
Are you gonna
know what?
add that?
Remember when we talked about the flashback? You're editing this
I'm
in.
gonna edit that in.
Yeah, you're gonna
somehow.
take the clip and then like put it in black and
Yeah,
white.
that-
You're gonna do like the woo, 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 woo. We gotta all look up there, and then go. You remember? There you go.
That was good. I think he's our funniest guest so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Fry was all serious.
Screw you, Colton.
Well, Colton will always be the average when it comes to these. You're not average, Jarrett. Because there was a rumor going around in high school that you had a massive schlong. Do you want to confirm this? Yes or no?
You don't have to put this in.
He does. He does, in fact, have a massive
You haven't
schlong.
seen it. You don't know.
I've asked Ben. He said yes.
Yeah, and Ben hasn't seen it.
Dylan, Grayson, I'm going to start listing off people until you say yes.
Are you gonna text each of them and ask them my penis size?
Do you want?
They probably all will say yes, by the
Do
way.
you want Jarrett to put this on his Tinder bio too? Opposite of Caleb, match of slong.
Actually, I think it's actually a pretty common trend for guys to actually do that on Tinder. Unironically.
My
I don't see
pee
one,
big.
Yeah. Tinder's a bad place. It's not. I think
installed it.
you did.
Good for you, Jarrett.
I think I should.
It was a video game for me.
Oh, so he's doing. Okay, so I guess me and Jared are really the same.
Homie mustard.
No,
Oh, thanks.
Alex
Jarrett.
was doing it. That's why I said no.
Thanks, Jarrett.
Yeah, no problem. I started playing Fallout New Vegas.
Was that earlier today?
Yeah,
You
I
appeared
got-
on my Steam.
Yeah, I got home, had two of the pulled pork sandwiches, showered, and then played Fallout New Vegas. And then it was 2:30, and I was like, "Oh, I was supposed to head out now."
Well, I guess you know what we can do. I guess since we're gamers here, how do you feel about Fallout New Vegas? Because
I've played 10 minutes of it, and it's really.
You've never played New Vegas?
Never played New Vegas.
Alex, can you hand me another bowl?
Another what?
Bowl?
A bowl.
I thought you
You
were
can
gonna
have a sauce bowl and a nugget bowl.
No, I'm putting the garbage in a bowl.
Oh.
Really?
I've
You've
never
only
played Fallout either.
I've
Any
played
of them.
Fallout 4 and I never beat it. I did like a bunch of the side quests. I never beat it. I think I've put almost 1,000 hours into Skyrim over all the platforms. Never once beat it.
Huh.
you've
Never killed Alduin.
what the fuck?
I've put damn near 1,000 hours into that game.
And you never.
Never beat Alduin.
You know what that actually just shows about Elder Scrolls? That the game is so good, you don't even have to do the main quest.
Insane replayability.
I haven't played that game either.
New Vegas or Skyrim?
Skyrim.
Either.
Wow.
You gotta play Skyrim. You have to at least play Skyrim.
He doesn't have to play the other 4.
No. You just play Skyrim. You don't even have to do that much in it. You just have to roll up, pop it, make your character,
And just do
and
whatever.
equip a bow, start sneaking around,
Are you-
shoot people, and do 18,000 damage to them because you're sneaking.
Does that actually how it works?
Yeah, no. The joke is that every build you play is going to become a stealth archer. Because
Really?
it's so easy.
Is it? I purposely only ever in those games use a sword or like a melee weapon.
Oh yeah, that's the worst build.
Really?
mechanically. Well, I don't know. I don't know about sword or versus magic. I like magic more. It's more fun than sword. But I usually play like the big beefy sword guy in games. But I like magic in that one. But in that
I
game,
just imagined a barbarian with Jarrett's head on it. I thought
Oh,
I
you
just
gotta-
mentioned that.
all you got to do in Skyrim is sit down, play like a wood elf or something, and then sneak around and stab people or shoot people.
Do you
in
know
back.
the optimal speedrunning strategy then? Are you this immersed
No,
into
I
the
just
game?
know it's easy.
Really?
Yeah. No, you just I could throw it up. Like if we had a computer right now, I could get like I could show you how good it is. Like you just equip a bow, equip the like you go through the first part, right? You take the longbow from one of the soldiers that you kill at the beginning. Usually I like have a sword and then I equip flames in my left hand. And then I run up, I throw fire on the gas on the floor. It burns up both of the archers pretty quickly.
He's just telling us how his game
Do you
went.
know how many times I've played through that beginning part?
He's
You
just
do
Doctor
that.
Stranging it.
You-
All these timelines.
You burn that guy. You take the longbow. You take like the steel arrows that they have. It's the worst bow, worst arrows, but it still works. You go to the bandit camp straight out of the thing because the dragon flies over. Everybody's dead and stuff. And then you go get the thief thing, the standing stones, and then you go to the right. You go to the bandit, and then the guy's sitting there, and you shoot him in the head. It doesn't even matter if you hit him in the head or anything. I don't think. I think it's all the same damage, but you shoot him and you do like double damage, and then there's a perk to make it 4 and then 8, and then with daggers, it gets really insane. There's a point where all you got to do is use Marin's razor and then like the Nightingale longbow, and then because it gets to a point where you're doing like times 64 damage if you stab somebody in the back with a dagger
Wow.
while stealthed. And Mehrunes Razor has a chance of instant killing anything, so you're already going to kill it no matter what. But if it's like a super dragon, you're going to take... You're not going to be able to sneak up on it again, so...
I had a joke there set up, but I was just so enthralled by the information you had. I was just going to call you Maidenless, but goddamn, that was actually interesting.
Also beat Elden Ring twice.
You want to talk about that? How do you feel like? How do you feel about the best game of this decade? Because it really will be.
Decade 2020.
Yeah.
Jeez, we've only had 2 of the years of that.
I'm just saying it now.
I've been through a fifth of that.
I think there is a recurring trend with early games in the decade just absolutely smashing. Halo, Reach, Black Ops 2, and Minecraft are just a few examples of that.
I don't know that I should put this out on the internet, but
Just do it, bro.
my favorite video game ever is Last of Us Part 2. Ever of all time.
You have to explain your take here. But this is spicy.
I
This is
think
the most
that
spicy
game-
take we've had.
That's what I said. That's what I told you. I said I don't know. I don't know that you know about how controversial that opinion is.
I just know that I don't agree with it, and that's enough for me.
Have you played the game?
No.
Then you don't have a say.
Oh, well,
No, but it's.
I know the
genuinely-
arguments, but I want to.
It's such a good game. It is. I think it does what it set out to do perfectly,
Really?
and it's the best revenge story I have seen in media.
That's a bold take.
Well, I think video games is a specifically good medium to tell that story.
That is, I will agree with that. I think that is a very good take.
Yeah, and I can't really go into
Did-
why I love it unless we put a big fat spoiler warning.
We can, Caleb. This is all Caleb in post.
yeah, I don't care. I'm never gonna play the game, so you can tell us.
Have you know about everything?
I Twitter had actively just
no Twitter.
Twitter just ruined
Twitter
it.
is the birthplace of all the worst takes in the world.
So perfect place for you.
I only have good takes because they're my takes.
You know what's weird? Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll be talking like an anime opinion, and I just see your kid face
Yeah.
pop up in my mentions, just liking something. I'm like, oh, there's Jarrett.
Yeah, I
Jarrett.
like stuff all the time. That's the only way I interact.
Yeah. It's just Last of Us 2 better than 1?
One is my second favorite game of all time.
Wow.
Wow.
I never thought that would be the take that comes from Jarrett's mouth.
Well,
Last of
I
Us
can
2.
see why. Okay, so the only reason, this is how I'm remembering the timeline correctly, the only reason why that game ever got flack was because there was a big, meaty white woman in that game, and then there were just people that just didn't like that.
I think
and
it
there
was
were other
because-
things.
I think it's because Ellie kisses girls.
That's
That's why a
hot.
lot of people were pissed. Yeah, but a lot of people don't like girls that kiss girls on the
know.
internet.
Well,
on
they're
Twitter.
clearly inferior.
I know. I know that was definitely a big part of why people were mad.
Was it even that integral to the plot?
I think the main thing that got everybody pissed is because, spoiler warning, this is the biggest spoiler warning you got to put in there, but everybody knows it. Joel dies
that I remember. Didn't he
And-
get bludgeoned to death?
with a golf club. The strong woman beat his head in with a golf club because he killed her dad at the end of the first game.
Shit, GG's, I guess.
That's okay.
GGs.
That second part where I said it was her dad is the biggest spoiler. But yeah, her dad is the doctor at the end of the game. At the end of one where you shoot him in the head with a shotgun, explode his brain all over the wall.
How did she know it was him?
Because they say multiple times,
Well, no, like,
Joel
how did-
Miller is
Oh.
running through, killing everybody.
Oh.
Like it's Joel, the smuggler, and so yeah.
That's very. I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest though. I've never liked the survival horror game.
I don't
kind
like
of
survival
aspect.
games at all either. In fact, I hate survival games. They're my least favorite game. Last of Us isn't a
You don't
survival
like
game.
Minecraft?
I couldn't play Minecraft right now.
Really?
I couldn't.
Why?
Because that's so boring.
Alex is just growing to despise you right now.
Minecraft is so boring.
You know
to me.
what? You know what? Hold up.
It's very fun.
It is.
when you're a
friends.
child
Yes.
and with friends. When you're not with friends,
And
unplayable, in my opinion.
Okay, so let me explain something
For
to you
me.
here. I've played Minecraft for probably over a decade.
Same.
Consistently?
Probably it's every few months. I'll have a Minecraft thing with me.
Yeah,
I've,
no,
I
same.
have never killed the Ender Dragon. Not once.
That was the last.
I've killed the Ender Dragon, and I don't even love the game.
Not once.
I've
been in there to defeat him. I've never been there where he dies. I've never got the official achievement in any PlayStation or Xbox game. Not even on PC. Because with PC, I just start modding my game because I'm like, fuck the base game. I have mods now. I can be whoever I want to be. I have never beat Minecraft.
See, the last time I played Minecraft was when they first added the Ender Dragon to Xbox.
That was the last time you played it?
I beat the Ender Dragon. I was like, well, I never have to play this ever.
I was on Xbox. I beat the Ender Dragon and I beat the Wither. I got through everything that you could get through. And then I think the last time I played it was just before they added the Elytra. Which is a real bummer because that's the coolest thing you can get.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to have any more of these, but I'm on like 12 or something.
I think I've had like at least I fucked up this whole left side.
I'm at least at like 20.
I'll say I'm at 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm at 1 billion.
I don't know.
I'm actually at 30.
The tally right here says 1.
Yeah. And this one, right now, 38.
And this one, 10,000.
Wow.
Jesus. So I guess
I hope you change those at the
Okay.
exact point we say the number too.
So. Quick question there then. So with the I guess argument on Twitter about Last of Us 2. How do you feel about Twitter opinions then? Do you really honestly think they're some of the most garbage takes out there? Do you think, Twitter is the cesspool of the internet now?
I think Twitter's always been a cesspool of the internet, but
Really?
I think it's not as bad as like 4chan or Reddit.
Are we gonna get into this topic? Is Jarrett finally the person?
I think Reddit has some rancid people on it.
4chan or Reddit? What's worse?
Right.
4chan is much worse than Reddit.
That I agree with.
Reddit's worse than Twitter.
That is true.
When you write.
Have you ever gone down some of those crazy ass 4chan threads?
No, I have never gone on 4chan.
You've never gone on 4chan.
I don't want to go on 4chan.
Jared's just a smart person.
Yeah.
Better than both of us.
No, I've gone on 4chan.
Put that also on. Actually, no, you already have that.
Yeah, add 5,000 to my number
There you go.
because of that.
Boop, boop. No, I've gone down 4chan, but just for like it's like, so I remember a while back somebody had a when the Twitch leaks came out, when the numbers got leaked.
Oh, I was so excited for that because Critical Role was number 1. And I've been watching Critical Role since somewhere between 8th and 9th grade.
Wow.
I don't know why I was happy that a company got money. That's very unlike me, but
Are you gonna explain Jarrett lore here and why that's the case?
I can.
You want to?
I don't know that it's going to be especially popular, but I'll leave it at that.
You could surpass Jarrett in this episode.
I'll leave it at that.
You'll leave it at that? Okay.
I'm not a big fan of corporations.
I don't think anybody is.
Well, yeah.
Unless they're
but
Google.
I don't like Google.
You don't
either.
like Google?
I don't like a single company.
Really?
None of them are good.
You think just
Some of them do good things, but I think they're all bad.
Are you socialist or communist? Because I've never got a straight answer from you.
I think it's like I think fundamentally they're kind of like the same thing.
That is true.
I'm not the most well-read on theory. I kind of like read the.
You read the manifesto?
I read the Red, and I read the Red Manifesto.
I did too, ironically.
And I read it before I went to college.
I read it before, but I never went to college. I just read it in high school.
I read it before college, and then I went to college and I read it again. And when I read it before college, I was like, "This is okay." And then when I was at college, I was like, "Okay, this makes sense."
Do you think it had base takes or no?
I mean, me personally,
Really?
I do think it did.
Wow.
Dialectical materialism. The value of your labor and all that.
Would you say you're a hard worker?
I guess. I work hard as long, like, I do the bare minimum unless it affects somebody else. I don't owe a company anything more than my bare minimum, in my opinion.
I think you would fit more under socialism than communism.
Well,
Or you're like a light communist.
Socialism is the getting point to communism.
Yeah.
Communism is the stateless, classless, moneyless society.
Caleb is fucking in lost land right now.
Socialism is at
Why do
least
you always assume I
in
don't
the
know
world.
things?
Well, no, you just look really confused. You're like, oh, look at the bikes in the background.
Well, I'm looking at you because you're
I know,
asking
I
me the
know.
questions,
I
so
know.
he's just got to sit there and look at your face. No, yeah, no. So socialism, at least historically, has kind of been the interim part between getting to that. Because, I mean, I have a lot of complicated opinions about that kind of stuff.
This is perfect here. Just fucking start going off, bro. It's not. It's,
Say how much you hate America.
no, it's true though. It's true though.
I think I don't hate America. I actually quite like America. I just think that America has done some really
Heinous
bad,
acts.
heinous things.
But every country has.
Heavily
and-
agree.
I think patriotism is good, nationalism is bad. I think that you shouldn't
Base take.
I think that you shouldn't blindly love your country. I think that you should love your country and want what's like want
Still criticize
yeah,
it.
better for your country.
Want better for your country. Like I like America. I don't think it's doing good.
No, yeah, we're doing
But
pretty poopy.
I think like I deeply want it to do better.
So, funny enough, this is probably going to get controversial here. But
It isn't already.
It isn't
we'll
already.
get
We're talking
more.
about
So-
communism in the US
I
States.
originally had planned a 4th of July episode for this podcast.
Oh, we're gonna talk about this.
4th of July is
and,
fine.
and right before,
No,
right
I know what this
before-
is going
right
into.
before we were about to record that episode is when they started getting rid of abortion
Oh yeah,
and just like
yeah, that's a good
completely
idea.
screwing up
Yeah.
all women's rights.
Caleb was
Yeah,
really
no,
wanting
you're-
to do
And
that.
I really wanted to, and then that
Yeah,
happened.
that's
and
kind of bad
and then
timing,
The next day, we finished a recording, and I was like, "Alex, I don't think I really want to do this episode anymore."
I was so happy. I was like, awesome. I get to sleep in.
exactly.
But it was just all like, I never actually got your reaction. You're one of the more political friends. So how did you feel on that? Did you like? Were
It's
you?
pretty obvious how I felt. I mean,
Well, like,
I
no,
don't
I know how you
I don't
felt.
think I have like a very.
But were you like, fuck,
I don't
man,
think-
that fucking sucks?
I
Or
don't
like-
think my opinion matters.
I
Personally,
Also, we're all based here.
Yeah, I
we
feel
all have
like-
that opinion.
like I'm
I
not a
should've-
woman. I don't have a uterus. It's not like my opinion on the whole thing should not and does not matter.
Okay.
It
I
should
think
always be. The
obviously it's bad, and obviously I'll tell people that it's bad. But like
When it comes to actually
and, like,
being in the
I'll go to
voting booth, I'd
marches
be
and
like,
all that stuff. I like, of course, I'll vote for like maintaining Roe v. Wade or abortion rights, but like, I don't think anyone without a uterus should be talking about it, like, on any meaningful platform.
So this is why we always got along with Jarrett because
we are literally just the same.
we
all
just
of us.
have one brain cell that we all share.
So no, but speaking on that real quick though, so I guess since I guess this is a political chicken nugget episode.
well,
no,
it was a joke, and it was jokey at the beginning,
but
and then
now
it
it
was
gets
hot
serious.
video game takes, and now it's politics.
because of Twitter. But
Yeah.
it's so. Do you feel like they chose that decision because of politics or?
I think politics now is
opinion.
just party lines. I think what it is that
Caleb knows what I'm talking about here. I'll
Yeah.
let you keep on going.
I think it's just that the higher ups are good at getting a lot of rich people to help them, and then they use a lot of that funding to pull in a lot of voters, and then a minority amount of people who hold a minority view of the country. Like it's it's over 60%. I think it's like some nuts number of people in the country support a woman's right to choose. But-
Yeah.
But,
okay. Speaking about the whole money
it's like
thing.
almost 50-50 in Congress.
So speaking about the whole money thing, though, wouldn't it technically statistically be better for companies to have abortions? Because you know how much money you can make a bag off of
Yeah,
that.
it's just that like
No. Keep on going. No, you're right. Like you just right.
right-wing politicians give, or I'll say tend to, but Democratic politicians do this too, where they'll take money from companies in order to enact legislation that helps them maintain and create profit.
Yes, that is true.
And in so doing, they have a few things that companies want, which is obviously the maintaining profit thing. And in exchange for that, they get money to enact their hateful views upon the country.
All right.
And it sucks.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
Kind of a broken system.
I think the worst part about it for me is that religion has become so intertwined with lawmaking, especially in the right,
which was really weird. How it's supposed to be the reverse.
Yeah, it's actively against the American Constitution and idea of law. It's
they're good. Yeah,
fully
are we
opposed?
So I guess technically, I don't even know about. I think I might have asked you on this, but are any of us actually religious?
I used to be. I'm not anymore.
So would you say the same for you, Caleb? I think I've asked you this, but I don't think I ever got an answer. Because I know I asked Peter, and he was all like, "Yeah,
you had Peter Glencoe on."
We haven't had him on.
Asked him.
No, this was when he was still here.
Oh, okay.
And
I was about to be like, "You had him on?"
No.
When was he in town?
No, I would love to have. He'd definitely show up for this.
Oh yeah.
And that would have to be a 4-hour long podcast. that would be our biggest one.
There'd just be so many bits.
There would be. No, because I had asked him. So his I guess I'll explain my Peter lore here. Is that his parents are very religious. I think Caleb can back that up too. But his take was completely different. He was all like, "Yeah, I think a higher power exists, but he's kind of like a scientist. He just kind of observes." I'm like, okay, coming from a strict Mormon household, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think if there's a higher power, it's kind of like a universal consciousness.
Mm.
In my mind, is kind of like it's just the universe. If there's a higher power, I don't think there's a higher power personally, but I don't know.
What?
I don't have the evidence.
I agree. For me, it's kind of Peter influenced me on that idea, where I've there's been things in my life where I've seen that type of stuff and I had those. I'm actively trying to. There is a thing you can put down in the Wikipedia about me, if there is one. Is that
You can make one.
I'm trying to make the audience make one. I want to see what their perception of me is, but it's hold up, let me chew here.
Make sure to put that he smacks his lips into the mic as much as he can.
That was the whole point for that one.
Yeah.
So
That's to be the
with
first
me,
line.
there's always an active debate in my head. There's never a point where I just go brain-numbingly dumb.
Yeah.
Just for I'm gonna look at this wall. I'm gonna watch this fucking this grass grow or this paint dry. There's always
Always thinking thoughts.
always thinking thoughts constantly. And I'm
For
gonna be
me-
honest, it's a problem. But when it comes to the whole that's always one that always shows up. It's it's in the rotation. Hey, does God exist? And I'm like to myself, I don't think so. And then there's the other me who goes, what's your evidence? It's always that thought process. And I've kind of come down to the conclusion that I think there is one, but he just doesn't give a fuck. Because if I take in all these religious takes on how we're supposed to be made in his image, I'm clearly the image of him that doesn't care about other things. So I feel like in the grand sense of it all, he just doesn't care. He's moved on to something else.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of evidence against organized, specifically Christian religion.
Also, I tap out. I'm
And a lot
fucking
of
full.
stuff.
I can't do this anymore. I'll take the punishment, whatever the fuck it is later. But it's
Yeah, I definitely had more than you.
yeah.
You can look at the count.
Yeah,
right now
look
it
at
has
the count.
10,000.
10,000.
10,001.
563.
No, I just changed it. 10,001.
Okay, 10,001. Well, mine says 5 million.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't fair.
Mine
This
actually
was,
says 5,000,001.
this was rigged before we even started. I want you
No,
to
it
know.
wasn't. You saw me eat.
Caleb, we can just
Caleb saw me eat, right?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
You only saw me too, right?
How much do I owe you?
No, but it's
yeah.
I don't know. It's just that thought's always showed up in my head when it comes to certain topics, and when they get introduced into something that we should treat serious and not just hey, philosophically speaking, a book
Yeah.
from 2,000 years ago plus.
No, I think for myself, I do not care if I think honestly, I think religion is a good thing for people as long as they don't, make it into legislation that limits people's rights.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think you should hold anybody to a religious standard, to your own religious standard who isn't a participant in that religion. I think that is really bad.
Yeah,
my opinion.
I think I can agree with
Because
that.
it's like a Christian walking up to you and saying, you're not living like a Christian. You're like, well, I'm not a Christian. I don't care.
Okay, so I'd play a devil's advocate argument and say I think all religions, almost universally, depending on the fucking wacky ones, go to 4chan for them, is that there's usually a common theme of not being a dick. I feel like that's the only thing people
but
should
I think that's
universally
also
be
like human nature is like, hey,
don't be a dick.
help the community.
Yeah.
Don't be an ass.
Yeah.
That's the only human standard I uphold.
I think that's what that was my take, is pretty much religion just boils down, all religion in general pretty much just boils down to just
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a terrible person.
I think a lot of
Like-
religion, at least like way back, was like,
Yeah.
It was started because people were like, didn't know like,
Curiosity.
what things were, and like science is the death of religion and all that. But also because
Somebody had a
it's-
really good story.
It's
It was
community.
fire. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's all about community and gathering as a community, because humans are such inherently social creatures that like I think that's a majority reason of why like religion nowadays is so big too.
Yeah.
Like growing up, I knew so many people who were like Christian but would just act like normal outside of it, not because they were like heretics or like
False believers.
any false believers or like hollow or anything. It's just because they were
What
like,
is hollow? That's a new term.
oh, I was just saying that
Oh,
it was
just-
like,
oh, okay.
they weren't like
They're fake.
they weren't showing their faith and stuff, but like they weren't like that. Like that's just because I think religion to a lot of people, especially like Protestant Christianity to a lot of people, is about the inherent human want for community and organizing with others and being, and like the idea of going to a place with a lot of people where you can meet, where you can talk to and be friends with a lot of people
What are you licking?
and keep up with them at least once a week is appealing to a lot of people.
Maybe that's why I'm so against it. I know we're here in this, community-like circumstance, but I recently went to a family gathering, literally yesterday, as of this recording. And some of them are religious, and they started talking and stuff. But as I slowly realized to myself, as current thought processes, I'm always thinking, the voice in the back of my head, I guess we can label it metas. Fuck it. Well, episode 5 is still canon. We'll keep that running joke along. But like, I was thinking, I was like, dude, I don't want to be here. Not because I'm a dick. Just, I just don't like all these people here. Like I can say hi, hello, have a small conversation.
yeah.
I don't want to be at a barbecue for 4 hours, aimlessly talking about why Maria and her ex-husband, blah blah blah.
Yeah, no, I understand that absolutely. Like I as a person am quite introverted, and I run out of energy.
I don't think I'm
talking
introverted.
to
I'm like
people.
a third space. I just don't like.
Yeah,
people.
no, I think, well, there are different people that take more energy from you to socialize with and interact with. And like I can talk to you, or I can talk to like, there's a lot, like any of my friends, and I can do that for a while.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I love it
even
about
if
you. You're one of the few exceptions. I'd love to sit down and just be like, "What's up with you today?"
Yeah, even if I like go to like a friend's house and hang out with like 6 of my friends for like a
2 days
whole
straight.
day,
Yeah.
like, or a whole day and a half, then I just gotta like be in my room alone, reading
For like
or
the next
watching
6
something.
months.
I was just gonna say like 3 days, but like I'll just like sit, I'll watch Netflix, I'll play single player games, I'll like listen to a podcast, and I'll just do that for like the next 2 days because I'm worn out.
Really?
Yeah, I have a really limited social battery, I guess.
Are you talkative at work? Are you talkative at work? Or are you just?
As much as I need to be.
Wow.
I just talk to people.
I'm just looking at a mirror, dude,
Dude,
and it's kind of scary.
Jarrett said opposite of Caleb on his Tinder. This just sounds like Caleb.
I don't know. As of late, I've been trying to be a bit more talkative, but I'm gonna be honest though, it's just trying to. This is probably really bad to say, but I'm trying to be a little bit more confident within certain regards to certain past episodes. But I've been trying to talk to the ladies a little bit more.
The white deer.
God no. Anyway, I've been trying to talk to a lot more older females, as that's kind of the range I kind of fuck with. But to be honest, I don't think I could bag any of it. It's just for practice, more or less, just to kind of build up what to say in a conversation. But other than that, no, I don't talk. Like, there's some guys at work, they'll be like, "Yo, what's up?" And the only thing I give them is a "Yo."
Like
That's it.
I'll have full conversations at work with people while I'm working.
Only my true coworkers.
But also,
will
I
do that.
just do a lot of grunt work at work. I'm
I feel that too.
lifting boards and throw in like making pallets of 80-pound concrete. Just that's what I do all day. So
they really got you doing like
yeah, grunt work. Like I'm like a 20s dock worker, walking and lifting 100-pound bags and moving them to another pallet, and then moving that pallet another place, and then
the only part you're
tagging
missing
it
is
and stuff.
trying to complain to your higher ups that you need workers' rights. That's all you're missing.
Workers' rights, you say?
You know, funny thing about
You try to unionize.
no, because like that. No, I was about to say like the other difference is I'm not union. But, the thing is
no way.
about where I work.
Lore.
You might have to cut this out because this could be slander, I guess. But like, and I work there actively right now.
Okay.
But they're like in the orientation that they give you. One of the things is like a 15-minute video about like anti-union.
Oh no! I think there's some.
They do that at Walmart too.
There are Walmart, Target. I know Home Depot's do it. I think Lowe's does it. Hospitals are 50-50 on it. Depends. There are some places.
It's like
Steelworkers. That's another one.
it feels borderline illegal the way they talk about unions.
No, that's public. That's public knowledge.
Multiple times they just straight lied.
Yeah, usually sometimes after you quit, they'll ask you to sign an NDA or whatever and give you some extra money. Never follow on that. Never do it. The ability to speak is a basic human right, more basic than water or food. I will debate that till the end of days. If they try to silence you on anything, say fuck you, you're terrible people, on to Twitter immediately.
No, it was just like it had like it was like if a person approaches you and wants to ask
Unionize
you, to sign
call the
something,
police.
refer to your manager immediately.
Why is it like what they show kids about not talking to strangers?
It's the exact same
They're
thing,
like,
except
No
it's like unions are predatory and want to take your money for nothing.
Unions want to touch your
and
pee-pee.
it's like
What the fuck?
okay, man. You know, I don't have any experience with unions though, but
I think
wholesale seem pretty nice. Seem pretty
They're-
neat. As far as like dock worker union, like labor unions,
There are some
Starbucks
unions-
is unionizing right now, which is pretty
I
cool.
heard about that. I did.
They're like all of the places that are like doing union stuff are passing their votes.
It's weird. I never really considered. I always thought that just after like the big like burst in unions that like,
that everything was union.
that everything would just be fine and unionized. Apparently not. What happened?
Oh, corporations won again.
Ah,
We don't have another Roosevelt in the office.
yes, because
We had Teddy. We had Big Boy Ted.
We as a country
killed all the monopolies.
We as a country are more concerned with the companies than actual living people.
Yeah, I think profits are over people at the moment, but
Yeah.
we need another FDR. Well, I mean, if you look at like, okay, I'm gonna endorse a candidate.
Fuck it, let's go.
I was a
Full
big,
Joe Rogan in this bitch.
I was a big Bernie fan.
I love my
for a
socialist
while.
Jew.
And
That's the line.
He's not even a socialist. Is the thing. He's actually like
Isn't he independent?
he's an independent, but like that's because in the world perspective, Democrats are politically right.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Because
Yeah.
right is capitalism, left is anti-capitalist.
Yeah.
And Democrats are inherently capitalist, obviously.
You live in
And
America.
so- yeah, and so
Is this in Europe?
yeah. No, apparently, did you know America had a socialist party until
Yeah.
until
I
like
knew.
the Red Scare and everything?
It's really
McCarthyism.
weird. It's really weird when the USSR. That's an interesting part of history where like, World War era humanity was fucking funky, dude.
Yeah,
Because that was when there was still like a large majority of monarchies with
they still had the Tsar. And
they still had the
10s.
Tsar. Most of Europe
1910s.
had kings and queens. Other places in the world still had them with automatic.
I mean, the UK still has the Queen.
She's almost
But
dead.
she's not really.
She
not
technically
really,
still
What's the
does
date
have
today?
power in some spots. It
What's the date
depends.
today? Well, she's gonna die on August 22nd at 5:32 p.m.
Are you pulling a J slat right now?
What? No. I just know this.
You just know this? How do you
is
know this?
information I have.
foresee that she's going to die on.
I don't foresee. It's going
for
to
legal
happen.
reasons. This is a for legal
On
reasons.
August
This is a
22nd at 5:32 p.m.
What? Messaged me.
What? Tell us right now.
Your mom.
I keep getting messages from spam or whatever.
I did the dirt cart thing in like what was it, Spokane? I had to block 4 or 5 numbers because
Oh
every day they would message me with something multiple times a day. It's stupid. And I had to do the same thing with Vitalent, the blood place. They threw out my blood the last time I donated blood because I have such low iron I can't donate blood anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think you should get that checked
So-
out. Are you anemic?
I think I am now. I ate so much fast food in the last 2 years of high school that I got anemic, and I have high blood pressure now too.
What?
What? Mm-hmm. This is new lore. I've never heard about
How much
this.
fast food did you eat?
What the fuck?
We went to fast food every single day
you
for
guys
2
went
years.
to Taco Bell for a month.
Yeah.
Okay, you
was
didn't,
me
but-
was me being
Caleb,
poor and starving myself
Caleb,
an ultimate strategy?
we were in the same lunch in junior year.
Yeah,
we went
but-
to Taco Bell for that month, and then we together
We-
created a coalition. We were like, we're not going to Taco Bell anymore. I didn't go to Taco Bell for 3 years.
You would.
I haven't had Taco Bell
I
in the
still
past
understand. How did you eat that much fast food that it messed with you like that?
I think I just have like that's gene. I think I'm like vulnerable to it genetically.
This is
because
new
my dad
lore.
has high blood pressure. So
I need to go to
my
the
mom
doctors.
and
Now I'm
my
scared.
grandpa on my mom's side is diabetic. So
I guess that
it's
makes
good
sense.
that I don't have diabetes.
Yeah.
But I think I'm vulnerable to it genetically.
But also bring that back up. Isn't that insane? How many days we went to Taco Bell in the row?
Yeah, I
that
think it was like 32 in a row.
We literally had to
more than a month.
We had to
Yeah.
secede from the union just
Yeah.
to eat somewhere
Grayson was
else.
going on the weekends too.
He was going on the weekends.
You try harded?
He would eat dinner there after school.
What?
He wanted that
Grayson?
Xbox. He wanted that Xbox.
Oh, that's right. There's lore to this. I forgot.
and then that girl got that Xbox and gave it to her boyfriend, and then he sold it.
It's insane the fact that the amount
and it
of
makes a Taco Bell ding whenever you turn it on. It's a free Xbox One.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
the amount of money
There was a
that
girl who got it at the school. She was like a year younger than us. Gave it to her boyfriend. He sold it
he
like a month
sold
later.
it.
I don't
That's
know who has it now.
insane.
I'm kind of pissed now.
Yeah.
But like with the amount of money spent at Taco Bell, because those were $5 boxes.
Yeah, no, it was. We definitely spent. Grayson at least spent more than the price of an Xbox One.
But
We could have pulled our money probably on 3
honestly, yeah.
if we wanted.
You guys could have bought a PS5.
I got a
Or
PS5
PS4.
recently.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, no, I was really wanting to get one.
Welcome to the club.
And I got one because 4 out of my top 5 or like at least 3 or 4 out of my top 5 favorite games
Are
are
all
all on
on
PS5, all PS5 exclusives.
Yeah.
there you go.
And I didn't play them until I
wait, where'd you
until I-
buy it?
the store, Steam, PlayStation Store. I had an app that told me whenever it opened.
Oh,
Yeah, I got
mine like 2 years ago,
yeah,
but I
no.
had to like fight an old grandma for it.
Yeah, no, they don't have it in physical stores much anymore. They had it at
Yeah.
GameStop for a little bit. Not at our GameStop, I don't think, but
That's so sad.
I don't
GameStop's
know.
dying.
I
but
know.
yeah.
Very insane. I can't.
Well, that
No.
stock thing a few years ago really helped it for a little bit.
Was it 2 years ago?
Oh yeah,
was
it
like
was
2 years ago, yeah.
That's
Fuck.
insane. What?
High school was over 2 years ago. It was almost 3 years ago now.
No, it was.
Isn't that
I
silly?
think that was just last year that stock thing happened.
I think it
though.
was last year the stock thing
Because
happened.
I remember I
'Cause it was
invested a
during
lot.
COVID.
I invested quite a bit into.
I'm not a big investor.
I
personally.
want to.
I
not
like
there yet.
investing because
I don't like investing because
like-
I'm.
Just antsy it.
Well, I think investing is a good option financially,
yeah.
and it would be a good idea for me to invest. I just am not into it as much.
I guess that's fair.
It's better than investing in real estate for me, though.
Really, you don't like that? Are you against it, or? Well, I'm
gonna say something
just go. Just
that is
fucking-
going to get me in. I'm not gonna say it.
No, it's
I'm not
fine.
gonna say it. I'm renting an apartment next month. I'm not gonna say it.
okay.
You don't like landlords?
Your words, not mine.
I don't like them either, but like
I don't think anybody likes their landlord.
nobody does. Spider-Man.
It's to a further extent. No, I don't.
Is he racist?
I'm not Mao.
He hates
I'm
redheads?
not a Maoist. I don't think
You're
that
bringing
all
up
landlords
terms the
should be
audience
killed.
is not knowing.
Mao in World War II was the leader of China.
Yes, this I know. I know what
and he
story
did
you're
the communist
explaining.
revolution.
Uh-huh.
He did the landlord
Execution.
Yeah, where they killed like 1 million landlords.
They killed 1 million?
over
I
a
didn't-
million.
Okay.
Jeez.
Or like in 1 week, or like over a course of like a month or something. They killed if you were a landlord, you got killed. Because the thing is that people weren't able to afford food or to live, and they were getting paid dirt. So there were more people starving than there were I think there were more open houses than people starving, and don't quote me on that.
No, I think
it was it was incredibly insane. That's a little extreme measure.
A little.
I think Jarrett's point is he doesn't want to kill all landlords.
I don't want to kill all landlords, but I don't like them.
There's a unique balance in between a place to rest your head and humans.
I could not be a landlord ethically, personally.
I think I could be one, but I'd probably want to be one of the pushover ones.
Oh yeah.
I think I'd be too nice to be like,
if I was a landlord,
can you fix this? I'd be like, yeah.
If I was a landlord, I would try and set my prices as low as possible.
See, there's so many problems because people are people. You put it too low, you might get some fucking weirdos in it. You put it too high, and
there's people who don't pay rent, and then there's people who screw it up.
Yeah,
humans are
trustworthy. Rent.
Yeah, I know. I get where Jarrett's coming from. It's just,
I think apartments in general are just kind of stupid.
yeah.
You know that companies are buying houses right now.
Why?
More than people?
Because
So that
want
they can
people to
rent them out.
yeah.
Because soon, I think it's projected by 2050.
Fuck it, I'm
Most
moving to
homes
Canada.
are going to be owned by companies,
I'm moving to Canada.
It's just
or not most homes, but a significant amount of.
I'm moving to Canada. Actually,
homes.
so here's an idea. So here's the thing. I brought this up earlier in the podcast. I like to think to myself, would it be really that dumb for me, just how you guys know me, to move to Sweden?
little,
A little? Okay.
a little,
Caleb?
more than a little. You'd be
Yeah.
uprooting your whole life.
yeah.
That's fine with
You
me.
wouldn't be able to see
dumb.
anybody. you
New
know.
Game Plus, it's fine.
I don't think that's New Game Plus. You have absolutely nothing that you started out with.
This
Yeah.
is the sequel to the series. It's God of War 5. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Would that be
pre-ordered
fine?
that. I'll tell you if you're in it.
Well, remember we talked about
Spoilers,
this,
I'm not.
We talked about this a little while back.
hasn't come out yet. How do you know?
You're gonna mod me in?
I'm
Doesn't
gonna mod you over Kratos.
when we were saying this, that if you look into a country from the outside, it always looks better than.
I mean, grass is
what
always
it is.
greener, you know?
Yeah, grass is always greener. So couldn't that be the case in Sweden? Because I don't feel like
From
I
what
think
I
Sweden's fine to live in. I just know it's pretty expensive. But I
they
think
actually make
the
everything
thing is-
livable.
Well, yeah, I think it's expensive if you're moving there. If you're born there, you can get a job there. Everything is you can't move there if you don't have a job set up. You can't move there if you don't have so many, and they won't allow you in anyway. They have very strict immigration policies.
What's their immigration policies? Do you know?
Every other place besides America has really strict, and America's catching up in immigration policy.
Really? This I
Yeah.
did not know.
I don't like that personally. America's the melting pot of the world. That's their
true.
whole thing. Not anymore. But
21st century America is kind of mid.
yeah,
I won't even lie.
This art kind of sucks.
It really does. It really feels like we don't have a protagonist to fight anymore. This is our go on arc, bro.
We don't have a protagonist to fight against.
Yeah, we don't. We really don't.
What about the American government?
yeah,
Okay, no, as a whole
our own
government.
our own government's against us.
Unless
They voted against feeding babies.
They did.
Can you believe that?
fuck them kids.
Voted against feeding infants that they're forcing women to have.
Yeah, it's kind of.
There was some nuts. Oh yeah, there was a vote pretty recently that was split along party lines to make white nationalism put on the terrorism thing.
That was split.
Yeah, it was a split decision.
I don't know what to do anymore, dude.
I don't know.
Is it a crazy take to say that I'm going to say to my kids, back in my day, it was a lot easier? Is that bad?
No, it's not.
Yeah, we had it good for a while.
I think that it's
Did we
complicated
climax in the 80s and 90s?
because I don't even think then, because, well, I guess that was before the whole 9/11 situation. So
It has its pros and its cons,
with
I
the
guess.
Middle East and all that.
A little bit.
Not gonna pull a Hassan Piker here,
I've got a,
but
Americans deserve 9/11.
yeah,
I don't agree with that take. I think he was memeing on that, but
he was memeing, but I know what he meant.
Yeah.
Because Reagan funded the Mujahideen with guns and money.
Okay, I think, bro, the fact that we even did that is wild. Cold War USA,
They
bro.
were fighting the good fight against the evil communists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
we
on,
had to fund the
Alex.
right-wing terrorist organization.
Come on.
We had to, right? CIA.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. The right-wing paramilitary organization fighting for justice in the
Yeah.
American way.
The American
Democracy.
Exactly.
totally didn't do it for oil and natural resources.
We had to defend democracy overseas, just like what they did with the whole South America thing. Every single one of those countries.
The banana. Are you talking about the banana republics?
I'm talking about every country that elects a leftist leader in South America, and then they disappear.
That is true. That does happen pretty often.
And the files are out there.
The internet's crazy.
Yeah.
Because have you ever looked up? I think I mentioned this on the. I think this is on our third podcast where I was sitting on your living room floor. But there is a weird
That's
trend.
episode 4, Alex.
Was it?
Somehow I
idiot.
remember every single episode.
God. Idiot.
I
you
thought
didn't
it was-
remember
Don't you
that?
remember episode
You didn't remember
4?
episode 4? I remember episode 4.
When was it then? What did I bring up in that episode? Because I remember.
Yeah, it was brought up in that episode.
Yeah, this was a quiz.
Jarrett. This is your quiz. This is how
The
you know-
Finders,
this
get
is-
lost.
Was it like hentai or something?
What? What'd you say?
I didn't
Well,
say it.
Jarrett has now officially lost the 100 Nugget challenge. He is
No,
back
I
down to
didn't.
0.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, 5 million, 0, and
One.
2.
One.
1.
I beat him by 1. No. So there is a pretty recurring theme with the FBI and CIA. Just hey, here's this file report that we did last week. Oh, it seems this guy had a 37 stab wounds. Why is it ruled a suicide? Nah, don't worry about it. Anyway, moving on to the next
Oh,
one.
yeah, you see that
happens
video?
so much.
Did you see that video? There was a lady
Oh, it's this
who
one. I
was
know this
ruled
one.
a suicide. She had 37 stab wounds, and I hate to say it was funny, but it was funny because
it was
parents
funny.
they
It was
were
funny.
like, "Do you think your daughter committed suicide?" And then the parents look at the dead camera and go, "No." Do you think your daughter committed suicide?
It was
They were
so
flat
comedic.
faced, they went,
it was
no.
It was so comedic. No,
Gosh.
there's this.
It's a terrible thing that happened.
Oh yeah, but just the way they said it, just the almost anger in their face that led to a
You can
funny
tell
thing.
that they
It
had
was
to answer
amazing.
this question and that the system had fucked them over.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's just.
Don't
It's
we
just
live in a great
I don't know,
place?
Graves humor and all that.
I don't think anybody. I
That
don't
was
think the
humor.
world is a great place right now.
No, we're
I don't think the world's been a great place.
For like the past
Ever.
100 years, I think the world wars really fucked it up.
I think you got to make greatness with yourself. I think you got to find your own greatness in the world. Find your own goodness.
What is
in the
that
world.
then, Jarrett? What is
Wise
your
words.
greatness?
I don't know. I feel like to some it's whatever you want, whatever it is.
What
I know
do you
some
want?
people want
What's the lore here?
goodness. Some people want to be famous. Some people they're good. Like some people just want to settle down, have a family, and live a life that's
That's the regular
enough.
ending, by the way. Just FYI.
yeah. Settle down, have kids, and then just live a life. Some people want the same thing, just without the kids. Some people, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, for me, I just want to live a life I'm proud of and that help people. And I think that's my goodness.
That's a fucking
That's some
pretty
wise
base
words
take.
because pretty much the reason why I even wanted to start this podcast was I felt like my purpose in life was to get out there.
Was to be a podcaster?
Was to be
Before the meme.
I'm taking the brave step
to defeat Joe Rogan. That was my
to
purpose.
debase Joe Rogan and become the king of
become the
podcasting.
king of
What is this
podcasting.
fucking One Piece?
I was about to say this is a shonen anime where
Well,
Caleb
I was just
is the
about to say the
protagonist and-
fucking flies are having a fucking anime battle over here, dude.
Yeah, no,
They're literally
Caleb,
just going,
Caleb's a shonen protagonist fighting against Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, the ending.
Joe Rogan.
Rogan,
I
will defeat
First, I have to go through the Mr. Beast arc. I have
Yeah.
to defeat Mr. Beast.
You got to top all the podcasts.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then I will make it that my final arc is against Joe Rogan.
What? Dude,
I will
prevail.
defeat you.
I will,
What do you sound like Deku?
Joe Rogan.
Shonen and
I know.
Joe Rogan kills Alex.
You have a Gohan moment?
He's like,
Bastard. And then you just go Super Saiyan.
he's like, I will kill the one thing you care about. Your co-host. You're like, no.
I kind of care about him.
And then you're like,
No, I
And then
have
you're
mixed
diving
feelings
for him,
whether or
and
not I
then-
care or don't care
and then
about
Joe
that co-host.
Rogan like does like the phase thing and catches Alex by the throat and he lifts him up, but he's like shorter than Alex, so it's like Alex's feet are still touching the ground. And then he's just like, die, and then goes right through his chest because he's strong.
And then
That guy's strong.
And then like the color inverts and it's like
And he's just like, and he coughs up the blood, and you're like, no. And then you start a podcast as like your power up. And you're like, hey guys, welcome
hello
to
and
the-
welcome to Totally Oblivious. I'm your host Caleb Perez and I'm about to beat the crap out of Joe Rogan.
My co-host just died.
My co-host is now dead.
Watch this highlight clip of me beating his ass.
Yeah, except you beating him is just beating him in views for your podcast. You're just like, all right, guys, share this on Twitter. Share this on Instagram. We're going to beat Joe Rogan's
TikTok.
podcast. Yeah, share this on TikTok. TikTok is insane
Okay.
explodability. I'll tell you right now. Like,
how I'll beat Joe.
You know,
that's, that's how you grow your platform.
You know, one
nowadays.
of our classmates had like 100K followers.
Yeah, Camden.
Was it? I thought it was a girl.
I'm good friends with Cam. Oh, maybe a girl had it.
No.
But Cam had over 100K followers.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, it's TikTok though. I don't treat it. I
Yeah,
don't
it
treat
was
as the same level
early
as YouTube.
TikTok. It was like 2018, 2019.
Really?
But yeah, no.
The
And
fuck?
now I play League of Legends with him, and he can't stop talking about it.
Is he on TikTok? Is he still popular?
Yeah, he's still on TikTok. He has like a workout channel. He has a workout page.
Oh my
He
fucking
has a
god!
car
It's called-
page.
Oh my lord! He's wow. Okay, didn't
You know, I'll
expect
tell
that
you right
more.
now. I follow, frankly, too many combination Dungeons and Dragons and gym TikTok pages. It's
So
it's
our
really
video
weird.
person is late.
People will post Dungeons and Dragons related content while lifting.
There's still a
weights.
lot here.
And I think I follow 4 of those pages. And I think that's as
The-
many as there are.
The very specific niche that you
Yeah.
somehow found.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no,
I'm proud
I mean,
of you, Jarrett.
I played Dungeons and Dragons for like 8 years, almost a decade. No, I almost played, in like 4 years, it'll be half my life I played D&D.
Wow.
And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, so I think I'll
Honestly,
get there.
I think Dungeons and Dragons gets too much flack. It's just
Yeah,
a game.
I think pretty recently.
I blame religion on that.
Well,
That
yeah,
too,
there's a comic where
The satanic panic just went crazy.
no, there's
bro.
a comic where a guy was like, he made like a fully like he was like a Christian comic artist who'd make like hateful comics, and one of his was like, it got turned into a movie.
Yeah. Is that
you
the
know
one
what I'm
on
talking about?
JonTron?
Yeah, the one that was on JonTron. But yeah, no, it was like this girl, her character died, and then she killed herself, which has never ever happened before, but it has in this comic. And so all the people are like, well, obviously playing Dungeons and Dragons means going into a room, putting on robes, making a pentagram, sacrificing your soul to Cthulhu or Satan or something, and then killing yourself. I mean, that sounds a lot cooler than what I do, but
that really
Like,
does.
give me
Yeah.
bitches? Sure, I'm down.
So
Yeah.
the funniest thing about it is like
all I do is I sit in a room with my friends and I play make believe and roll dice as the rules.
I literally have been in the room while they do it. It's kind of gay, but it's pretty fun.
If it's not gay, it's not worth it. To be honest.
I won't lie though. The only part that made me gay was just me looking at Craig, being like, "Why do you have such good face care?"
He's a good man. He's a good-looking man.
Unironically, if I see a man with a crystal clear face, I'm gonna point it out and be like, "Motherfucker, you're a 10 out of 10." I have to bend the knee here. Craig is a beautiful man. Send this clip to him on Discord. I know you will. But it's
right.
just all like, man. This also goes for Ryan Reynolds too. He also fits in that category.
But it's funny because I remember you made a point, Jarrett, one time talking about how like Christians think that D&D is the most like satanic thing on the planet, when literally in that game you're fighting demons.
Yeah, you're fighting. Like I remember I told my dad was like, "Is there devils in it, and I was like, well, yeah, but they're the bad guys.
they're the ones who are bad.
And I mean, that's not necessarily always the case.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it can.
I didn't tell him that, and then he said, "You still
still-
can't play it." And I was like, "All right," and then I went and played it anyway.
Like,
You rebel, you absolute Chad.
I'm a bad boy.
If-
I play Dungeons and
you're
Dragons.
Such a bad boy
I play
playing
Dungeons and Dragons, and I stay up 30 minutes past my bedtime.
Ooh.
I would drop this mic, but that'd be expensive.
That would be pretty expensive.
Jarrett,
Yeah.
I can't believe we're sitting with a convict right now.
Yeah, practically.
Practically
Yeah.
criminal on a terrorist watch list right
Yeah,
here.
You think you're followed by the FBI?
probably.
Do you think you have a list
After
somewhere?
this, yeah.
It's-
I'm gonna be honest. My phone's been here the entire time. If my FBI guy is listening to this right now, Jarrett, you have so much information on Jarrett.
He probably does.
I think I have a list on me. You know that the FBI. I always feel like I say that fucking wrong.
You could just say the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
The
kinda
Federal
shorter.
Bureau.
It's easier to say. The Federal Bureau of Investigation.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation.
feds.
The feds. You know the feds.
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
the fuck.
Gotta say the whole thing. It's rude.
Federal Bureau of
We
Investigation.
don't respect them.
I don't respect them. Why'd you say the full thing?
Son of a-
Wow, this guy.
Wow.
This bit. Okay, no.
Wow.
Back to what I was saying. You know the feds have profiles on all big YouTubers. You know that?
Probably. They have profiles on everybody.
I mean, so does Wikipedia.
After the Patriot Act, they got profiles on everybody.
That shit's wild.
Yeah.
You know, I got told that fact. I think you were in that class with Mr. Frederick, or no?
I mean, the class that I had with Mr. Frederick was AP.
I think
He didn't have AP history with us.
I just had AP history. I think I had a different period because there's 2 periods of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have it with Jarrett.
Well, no, he had
Because
mentioned
I think
we
Patriot
didn't
Act.
have anybody smart in that class.
Yeah, I think
until
I had it with
second semester.
Andy. I had it with Andy.
There's lore in
I
that
think.
class.
I think I had it with
Alex
Andy.
the white
Right, dear. You think if I told
that is a joke I don't understand.
Alex
and
was
I'm fine with
Alex
that.
was in the brush in
Wait,
in the
do
history
you not know who the white deer is?
No.
Do you want to know? Or you
Sure.
These are
Yeah,
going to ruin the immersion.
I'll show you.
No,
The
we can just
guests-
blank it out for
the
later.
guests get to know who the white
Is this
deer
a person?
is. No, Alex is in love with
No.
the body pillow. we
Oh,
call
this
the white
is this
deer.
is somebody he likes. Oh.
Yeah, this is
Juicy. Juicy.
this was on episode 5,
This
bro.
person. This person.
Well, I
right
know
here.
that.
Do you know that?
I've
the white
been.
dude.
I
Well, now we just have a code name for it.
been know
Can we
that.
talk about yours though?
Can we talk about the code name we used to have for her? That before the white deer, we called her El Dorado. Remember
Yeah, I
that?
remember that. That was
El Dorado.
hilarious. That was funny.
Yeah,
Gosh.
it was humorous until it actually got weird there for a bit. But did you have one for yours or no?
I didn't have like a big crush.
I thought you did. Otherwise, that's something I got from Caleb.
Caleb decided my crush.
I
senior year.
This is a very common
I
trend.
was sitting down, minding my own business, and Craig or Connor or I went through 4 different names there. Caleb, I got a lot of friends with C names. Caleb comes up after G-dang macroeconomics and goes, "Hey, I'm gonna ask this girl out for you." And I was like,
Yo, I've never heard this.
"Okay, go for it, man." And then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna do it next Wednesday." And I was like, "Okay, man." And then COVID hit that weekend.
That's right.
And I remember I was like, okay.
It's funny how I don't remember that.
That's both a good and a bad thing for me.
It's funny how that's the one thing I don't remember doing. I did so much stupid stuff that I don't remember doing.
Yeah.
That
No, I
specifically.
actively remember you coming up to me before I left and was just like, yeah, no, I think she'd be a good match for you. I'm asking her out for you.
What can I say? I'm the wingman.
Yeah.
One winged angel. What you gotta tell me?
It's a bad thing, Sephiroth. Fucking goddamn. No, it was always. Caleb's always been a interesting person.
Ever tell you guys about what I did to one of our friends? And this was junior year in Spanish class. You remember the Swedish foreign exchange chick?
Apparently, I heard rumors
yeah?
that she might have
with
been bad.
Anna?
So yeah. So,
You remember her name?
So
Yeah, she was in like cross code. She was in my physics class.
Was she hot? This is your take.
Yeah.
yeah, she was a cutie.
Yeah.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
I don't know. Up there.
Up there? Okay, I'll
Certainly
take that.
up there.
So-
8 or 9. That's what I'm getting from.
Certainly up there enough that every person in that class that I talked to was like,
She's bad.
yeah. You know Sasha?
Who's Sasha?
Oh yeah,
Sasha?
yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was in my class, and he was like, I'm gonna hang out with her a lot. Like, go for it, man. He's really funny. He's a really charismatic guy.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah,
But
My lore here is empty. Who the fuck was Sasha?
we'll get
he was
to
like
that
a year older than us.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't remember how I met him, but I just remember he was a cool guy.
I just know I met him somewhere, and
So we had Spanish clash. Me and Jarrett had Spanish clash with our friend Ashton. I'm gonna call you out, Ashton. And I remember at that time,
which one?
Ashton Park.
Oh,
I remember
Yeah.
he always used to ask me to help him with girls, which I was already keen on.
what the fuck? How many
I-
people did you have under a roll, dude?
I'm just the wingman. I'm telling you. And so
Were any of these successful?
Caleb's like, have you seen the movie Hitch?
I have.
Caleb's like Will Smith,
Oh my lord!
except more violent.
What do you mean more violent?
More violent?
I think both of them would slap somebody on stage.
Yeah, no, you're.
keep Val's name out your mouth.
Yeah.
Jesus,
But
dude.
so Ashton that year
Keep my.
he decided to ask.
I was about to yell, keep my friend's name out.
So he asked me to help set him up with Anna, and he was like,
That's not achievable. I'm sorry, Ashton. Maybe now he's in college.
"Yeah,
He's kind of
he's
grown up a
grown
bit.
like 2 feet.
Yeah, he's grown
How
up.
tall
a
was he
bit.
before?
He was
He was
shorter than
like-
me.
He was like 5 foot.
So what? He's like my height, maybe.
I think he's like 6 foot now. Or something. He looks
He's
like
pretty
it.
tall.
I don't know.
And
He's grown up. He's got some good hair now.
Yeah, he's got. But I remember he was like, "Bro, you gotta help me. You gotta help me."
And we're like,
you gotta help her.
this
hook up with me."
5 foot like 8 model from Sweden is not gonna go for you, Ashton. I'm sorry.
And so I was like, "You know what, Ashton, buddy, I've got you. I've got all my buddies.
Oh, she was from Norway.
I've got you."
just remember-
I actually made her a 10.
So I was like, "Ashton, I got you, buddy." So I go up to her, and I go like this. I'm like, "Hey, Anna, you see that guy right there? He's a very lonely little boy. Jesus
Christ. Hold up, we're still recording.
So
Was this your plan for senior year? Was to just walk up to her and be like, "Look at that guy. He's a pathetic loser. You should really help him."
not quite with you, but with Ashton. The reason why I went so just like I didn't care is I was like, she's going back to Norway. What's his odds of catching her in the first place? And
he
for
actually get
two, she's not even gonna be here for much longer. So she's going to Norway. So I might as well just say whatever the heck I want because I think it's funny. And so I was like, that little boy, he just needs some friends. So I'd appreciate if you were just to talk to him every once in a while.
Please no.
And yeah, just be his friend. And then she looked at me and she was like smiling. She's like, "Okay, yeah, I can do that."
Did you just manipulate a woman into being somebody's friend? Did you just do that?
Well, exchange students are like, they don't necessarily, they're not
yeah.
immersed in American culture. They're the extent of like a lot of, especially Europeans' knowledge of America is like movies. So
So you're telling me if I went to Europe, I would be an animal?
if you went to Europe, not necessarily. If you went to
They might
Europe,
hate you.
you could walk up and you
okay,
could
I'm
be
American.
like, yeah, I got shoved in a dumpster, and they believe you.
I'm Elon Musk.
You think they
I
would-
don't think they would believe you about that. It's like stuff about like things that we do, like because like
Yeah, all
Like,
Americans have a
I've
gun
talked
on
to
their,
people
on their hip.
who are like you don't act, like they fully didn't believe we did the national anthem or not the national but the Pledge of Allegiance.
Every time in class?
Yeah, they were like, that's stupid and nationalistic, and I'm like, yeah, it is.
It
We
is
still
pretty
do it.
crappy.
I stopped doing it.
I just would stand up. I wouldn't do it.
No,
I
me
wouldn't
and
say anything.
Colton, surprisingly, me and Colton,
Conscientious objectors.
we did. We, during sign language class, we would, I think when was it?
I didn't really
I think I-
care.
I-
I figured
no,
it was
no,
like
no.
standing up. I didn't
No,
matter.
no. At first, it was
I was
a
also-
joke, but then things kind of late into I think it might have been my senior year that we started doing it. But like,
Because there's a lot going on
I think
politically that time
it might,
too.
I'd have to ask Colton on the exact when we started doing it, but it might have been our junior year. But like at that time, it was still kind of being a little bit
I haven't spoken to Colton in a minute.
One day we're just gonna have a big old fucking podcast. You'll see him one of these days. And
I'm gonna be in Seattle for the next year. In a
in
week and a half.
a year's time. In a year's time.
Well, I'm gonna renew my lease most likely.
Well, we'll still.
I
get
guess
you.
I guess I will come back every so often.
We will. We
You
will
can come
always
back
be
when this
connected.
podcast evolves to having
Yeah.
viewers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but me and Colton, we started it as a joke at first, but then me and him eventually had like I think at least a half decent like, you know our system's fucked, right? And he was like, yeah, and we just started actually taking it seriously. Mm-hmm. Like I straight up stopped. I had an argument with my dad once about it. Like we were at the dinner table, and they were like, I think it was the 49ers that were doing it or some team.
The new, what Colin Kaepernick dude?
I think my dad called him.
Yeah, he's on the 49ers.
My dad.
He was.
He was.
Was, and then he got
Or it might have
booted
been a
off.
whole different team. It was on a Monday night. It was whatever. And my dad saw it. You know, my dad being the person that he is, the dumb Republican. I'll label it as what it is, and his takes. A year later, I'd realize things about him. But it's all like he'd be like, "Why aren't they standing?" And I'm all like, and I was like, "I don't stand either." And he's like, "What? You don't?" And I'm all like,
What?
"Dad, the system actively is against us. What do you mean?" And then he got like really angry about it. And I'm like, "You're just fighting a null void topic. Your literal debt is to companies,
Yeah,
and the U.S. government will not help you unless they get your debt." And
Yeah.
then like I just dunked on him, and then he just kind of was angry.
What's even more funny is when people get mad at Captain America comics for
Being political when it was always
Yeah.
political.
now, and they're like, it's
Yeah.
always been political, and
I
Captain
think
America has
that-
always been commenting on what's wrong
they're
with
all
America.
I think that when people get upset about something being political, it's not that it's political; it's that it's the wrong politics.
It's something they
It's
don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Captain America's first issue is him punching Hitler.
Yeah.
He's drawn by Jewish Americans. Who fought on the front
I think
lines.
most all of them were Jewish.
Yeah, no. Most comic
No.
writers, especially back then, were
Superman was
Jewish.
drawn by
Superman
Jewish people.
is a he's the Ubermensch. He's a twist on the Ubermensch.
I love Jarrett. Didn't know that.
I
No,
love that.
so the Ubermensch is the
I love this
originally
part.
it is a it was a like literary concept of like the perfect human and who could protect and looked out for his community and was what Superman is. And then the Germans took it and twisted it into
His
like
sister
the perfect,
sold it.
into the perfect Aryan like white like soldier / citizen. And so the Jewish American writers were like, hey, this is like a concept that has been incredibly important to us. Let's reclaim it. So they made Superman, who's he's good. He's not human, but he surpasses humanity in every aspect. And he uses all that for good. And so that's like what makes the character interesting is he has all that power, but he's not good. Or that he is good.
I think Injustice ruined him.
Well, I think Injustice is a specific story. I think that we have enough bad Superman in media now.
Yeah.
I think I'm taxed on bad Superman.
Ant-Man has 3 movies before Superman did. Well, he had 4, but the fact that Ant-Man has 3, and it's been like 30 years, I think, since Superman's had a trilogy, is actually insane.
Yeah, well, DC's kind of
Ass.
well, yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff for profit right now, and that's not really working out for them.
A little bit.
Well, Disney's doing stuff for profit, but they have a formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to appeal my mass.
But Captain America is based off Jewish mythology.
Really?
Yeah, he's based off the golem. Because golems are Jewish mythological creatures. Pretty much the idea is that
I know
a
this
rabbi
lore.
would make the golem to protect a town of Jewish people from people who would want to
Yeah,
hurt them.
if you
from
didn't know this, by
monsters,
the
from
way.
other things. And Captain America was created by a Jewish scientist. And Captain America is Jewish. And
That's new.
so-
Never heard that one.
But I just
Yeah, well,
realized,
it's hinted that he's Jewish. Like Peter Parker's Jewish.
Oh, yeah, that I knew.
Most of the Fantastic Four is Jewish.
Are all of them fucking Jewish?
Well, yeah, it's Jews wrote it.
Huh.
It's
sense.
it was made to uplift them in a time when they were
Are
being
the X-Men Jewish?
a good amount of
Actually,
them.
never mind. Magneto's
Yeah,
Jewish.
Magneto's a
Yeah,
Holocaust
that's true.
survivor.
Yeah, he was a Holocaust. That's true.
Well, actually, I don't think he's Jewish anymore.
No, he is.
no, he's
This is a pretty pivotal part of his character. Maybe in the MCU he might not be. I hope he is.
Well, no, I'm
But-
thinking like later in his comic runs, like he goes full fuck it.
What do you want for the X-Men in the MCU? Because I can give my opinion
I want.
as somebody who's read comics their whole life and loves Marvel and the X-Men.
Fuck, this is why I love Jarrett. Me and him are just on the same wavelength. I think with the X-Men, in terms of this, because they're not set up for it.
Yeah, but
They're
they're
not-
like, how do you want them to be introduced, and how do you want them to exist in the world?
Okay, the MCU follows the Ultimates timeline a little bit. It's more them than the 616.
Well, yeah, but like
in terms of concept.
the characters are 616. The timeline is
it's more related. to the
they take the
Ultimate
stories
Universe.
from everywhere though.
Yeah, I think I'd say fuck it. Either you can pull. Okay, this is the only example I can use that would work correctly for it. So follow me with it.
Mm-hmm.
So stand users in JoJo are almost like universally around, but they're like nobody knows about them except for the stand users. Caleb gets it. It's always like there's a rule within the universe: stand users will attract stand users.
I mean, I've seen the memes where it's like, where is he? The enemy stand user. And then it's just like a crowd of normal people, and then a
the
guy,
gay rainbow
and then-
clown.
and then like Little Nas X.
yeah. So that's the
I
common
said
thing.
little.
That-
I
so
really
that's the-
enunciated. I did his government name.
So that's the
Little
common
Nas.
theme.
Little Nas X.
Yeah, that's the theme with JoJo characters. So I feel like what you could
You'd want
do,
it for like that,
yeah, like
where it's like they were kind of under wraps.
like mutants were around, but there's like a microscope. There's like less than 10,000 of them, and they're like super unknown, and they're just like a variable. You can be like, oh no, you just thought that you were X, Y, and Z because you were had like
honestly,
this
I do
experience.
kind of want them to gaslight the audience. I want them to be like, yeah, they've always been there.
They've always been
There
there.
was always
there.
mutants.
But all of a sudden,
Deadpool is
what
always in the MCU.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
what I would do in the within like the Marvel universe is there's like I'd even say less than that. There'd probably be like 5,000 mutants. Wolverine, Jean Grey, all of them. All the classic mutants would be like some of the ones in the MCU. But then all of a sudden, I don't know. The Celestials show up and they're like, "Hold up, we forgot to activate this before we left because you probably should know about their lore." I mean, push that button real quick. They dip. All of a sudden, there's like 10 million mutants. Now here's the X-Men in the MCU. There you go. That's how I would do it.
I do kind of want them to gaslight you that they've always been there, but in a different way. Because I know there's a lot of talks about like Giancarlo Esposito playing Professor X. I personally, there's a lot of complication within the MCU about like Jewish representation, Roma representation. So a lot of the roles that he would excel at are like you don't want to take away from Jewish representation, you know. But like I think for
Is Xavier Jewish?
I don't know.
What,
But-
aren't Magneto and Xavier?
No, they're not related.
No, they're not.
Like they're kind of like
Juggernaut,
blood.
and Magneto.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
that's
Juggernaut
right,
and
that's
Professor
right.
X are brothers.
I think
But,
they might. I think
I
they're
do-
Catholic. Fuck, I can't remember.
I'll tell you right now what I want for the X-Men. I want them to just be on Krakoa.
Oh, the whole time.
Like, just be like, yeah, we were here. We were just sitting there. Professor X and Magneto are very old and non-operable right now. We're gonna take a look at the other X-Men after them. We're gonna have Scott Summers and Storm be the fucking leaders of the X-Men.
Okay, I'm okay with that take. That's more new X-Men.
Because I still want,
Is Iceman gay in this universe, though?
of course.
Okay, I'm
Of
just
course.
curious.
Yeah, no,
Family
of
Guy
course.
predicted that before that was canon, by the way. I love it. At least he knows how to touch a man. Fucking love that bit.
No, but like I don't know.
That's what I would do.
I think I still want them to be like a Holocaust survivor and like Professor X. I think the idea of Professor X is that because Magneto is like they've only hurt us. I think it parallels the
Jews. It's always
parallels
Jewish and black
arguments
communities.
more than it. Yeah,
They basically hate against minorities. That's what the X-Men are.
It parallels more to like Jewish discrimination than
Yeah.
like black discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could change it, but like I think it's pretty important to have that to like have Jewish characters because like Wanda Maximoff is half Jewish, half Roma, and then she's just like a white.
Do you
Nazi.
consider Jewish a race?
Hebrew is a race? It's an ethnicity.
Okay.
I think race is a social construct, but like I think ethnicity is certainly.
I
a thing.
would consider them Hebrew, not Jewish.
Because like what's a white person? What's a black person? You
Go to
know?
Europe, they start asking you like, "I'm
Yeah.
white. Which European country,
Yeah,
weirdo?"
it's like, yeah, I'm white. That's my race. But like, I'm
what's the
Scottish, I'm Irish, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Like I'm American would be like, I guess, our ethnicity, but
Yeah,
like, or
it's,
like,
a,
but
it's
like,
a very American thing to say
genealogy.
white.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like, because like somebody who's black is like Rwandan
Yeah.
or like, you know, Ethiopian. Like it's that's not like their race. You know, they're black people from all over. They're white people from all over.
How do you say a person from the Congo? I was gonna try to add to that, but I literally was like, how? Like it's like we're like Washingtonians.
I don't know. I'd say
Congolese. Would it be?
maybe. I don't know. I'd just say somebody from the Congo.
All I know about the Congo is a song by Genesis.
That's also not a very good place. Literally, like environmentally speaking, do not go to the heart of Africa.
Take me to the Congo.
But I know a lot of places like Savannah.
Yeah.
And that's not as bad as a straight desert.
Cut that. Cut that. You need to cut that. I reacted to it. I giggled.
I almost threw up from thinking about the chicken nuggets.
Okay, no. Anyway, no, not the laugh. Not the laugh. Not the laugh. We're gonna start laughing here, and I can't.
Change subject. Hey, Alex, you want to try out this soda that I want you to try out?
Sure. Anyway, we can still.
You wanted to talk about. Oh yeah.
The
Well,
X-Men.
I want Giancarlo Esposito. It's really complicated. I want to play Doctor Doom, but the thing about Doctor Doom is he's like Eastern European, like Roma, and I don't want to take that. I think.
Also,
It
for the
would
people that
be-
are not educated, Roma means Romania, not from Italy. By the way, just FYI on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And there are some demeaning terms for them around the world that everybody would have known and are said aloud many a time in the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I would,
but I don't like to say anything, you know, just because if
wait,
one person doesn't like it, I don't like to
Stop.
say it.
Wait. No. Okay. No introduction. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you do a great Doctor Doom.
why is it fruity?
I just think the only problem with that is, you know, Roma representation.
Yeah. So, Alex, what do you think?
Well, Caleb brought a soda for me. It's warm as fuck. It's pretty fruity, and it's in a Coca-Cola can, so it's a little bit weird. It's all right. It's not my favorite Coke beverage.
Anyways, there's a thought that I had that I was going to elaborate on.
No,
but
go ahead, go
we
ahead.
kept talking. You're talking about how you think like an hour ago. And I was going to say that it's interesting to hear about how people think because, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, everybody here has like an internal dialogue. Like you can hear words in your head. There is
hear
like a
multiple.
whole portion of the population of the world that
They can't
can't hear words in their head.
They can't imagine.
And
We talked about this, yeah.
Well, there's a cold. I mean, I feel like they imagine more because they think in concepts. If they think of an apple, they don't think the word apple. They think of the apple.
You know what's weird? And this is
Or
going
at
to be
least
a
like
weird take
in
for
like
me.
some.
I think I'm a
sort
part of
of.
the very few part of the population that can think of very abstract things for hours on end. Like
Yeah.
like you know the people that can't imagine in color. I'm on the total opposite of that spectrum. I've explained this before.
No,
but I feel like I'm part of the top.
There's a genuine spectrum between
Yeah.
how because like for me when I imagine things, I like it starts and like if I actively try to imagine something, it's like black and white. It's kind of blurry. If I like zone out and I'm imagining something, it's like I can completely immerse myself in it, photorealistic.
I'm like a Green Lantern, bro. I think a good example here is Jon Stewart. He's the Black Green Lantern for anybody that doesn't know.
I've been saying for years that they should have Idris Elba play Jon Stewart,
I would agree. Actually,
like an older Jon Stewart.
yeah.
Like,
I would like him.
I want for the DC. I want them to just be like, Justice League is there.
Yeah.
They're already a thing. Here's maybe a movie about their background. All right, they're already a thing.
Yeah.
I want an older Batman. I
don't want build up. I just want the characters.
Yeah, I want. If I want to watch a younger Batman, I'll watch the Robert Pattinson Batman movies as they come out.
Yeah.
I want for the DCU. I think that they should just be like characters are established. All right, when they get their solo movie, here's like an hour of their backstory. Now they're gonna fight this guy from their backstory.
Yeah.
Done.
So here's a question. Should DC take more of an animated route for their Justice League movies?
The animated universe is probably one of the best cartoons ever. So
I think
fuck
they
it, yeah.
absolutely won't. It's
They-
not
yeah, they definitely
profitable.
won't.
It is profitable. It's just not as profitable as
Americans
Those, but-
have the misinformation of thinking that animation is for children.
yeah.
Nah, bro. Why does Miss Incredible have a dumpy? That's not for kids, bro. Like, think about that. You
One of my
idiots.
favorite movies in my top 5 is Into the Spider-Verse. And
People who say that's the best Spider-Man movie are wrong.
it is objectively the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion.
Why?
I said objectively and in my opinion. And it's both.
Yeah. Why?
No, absolutely. What one's better?
I think all the Sam Raimi movies.
Have you seen them recently?
Spider-Man
They're
one-
fun. I love them. And they're so fun.
They don't hold up, but
objectively
They are
not as
fun.
good a movie.
I would even
have to
say
disagree, Jarrett.
I would say even the new
Tell
ones.
me the techniques that Sam Raimi employs that are better. Okay, show me one scene from any of the Sam Raimi movies
No,
that is
he's
more
good.
emotional and impactful than the
Doc
leap
Octopus
of faith.
dying.
Not as emotional, not as impactful as the leap of faith Into the Spider-Verse.
Fuck the leap of faith, you nerd.
I'm gonna be honest.
When I saw the
Jarrett.
leap of faith
you cried
in theater
You cried.
for the
baby.
first time in 10 years,
is,
dead ass.
is Alex really being like gonna cry?
Cry.
No, dead ass.
Piss baby.
I didn't cry for like 10 years because I like shut myself off in late elementary,
Oh, so
early middle school.
there's emotion here. Okay, there's lore.
And
There's
like
Jarrett
I had
lore.
worked at like being able to let myself cry for like years.
Uh-huh.
And one of the first times was that. Also the what's his name? Oh, Mr. Rogers. The Mr. Rogers movie. When he's on the bus and he's like, and it's like the lowest point, and he's on like the metro and he's talking to this guy, and then somebody's like, "Oh, you're Mr. Rogers," and they all start singing the theme song.
You cried?
That made me cry.
Okay, I would cry to that
Because
too. It's
like
Mr. Rogers.
That's like because like everybody has like a thing that makes them cry, like a concept in media that makes them cry, and like for me, it's like people coming together.
I know why Jarrett likes
people coming together to recognize somebody having done something good.
it. You just felt more emotionally attached to Miles.
And, like-
I'm assuming here.
Well, not necessarily. I think like Into the Spider-Verse. One of the things that almost made me cry when I watched it the second time is when everybody goes to his funeral, and they're all wearing the Spider-Man masks, and Mary Jane is like, everybody like he was a hero, and then everybody like starts cheering
blonde.
for him, and they all like start like. And like all the presents that they left, and like it just showed how much of an impact he had in this community. And I think, and that's like just so beautiful to me.
See, I think when it comes to certain topics, me and Jarrett are a little bit different. I think this is
That's
why
how people are. In fact,
I know, but some people don't get that. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
I think with me, I don't. So Into the Spider-Verse is weird. I think everybody has it.
I love it. It's a perfect movie.
Spider-Man is huge.
Perfect superhero movie.
It's up there for me, but it's not the one. Fuck that shit up. He really liked that water bomb.
I know you had your mouth full of water, and you looked at me, and I saw how confident you were with what you just said, and I just had to laugh.
No, but it's just with Miles. Have you ever read his comics?
A few. I read more of the Ultimate Spider-Man, like pre.
Okay.
Because that's the only. I'm gonna be honest right now.
That's the
Ultimate
only-
Spider-Man, only good Ultimate comic.
That is factually correct.
Miles is fire. The Peter Ultimates comics is fire. Brian Michael Bendis. He's the author of the Peter Parker ones, at least.
One of the better
One of my favorite
writers.
authors.
Yeah.
He wrote All the Best Daredevil, in my opinion. Then Chip
You would
Zdarsky.
love my homie Energy Sam. Shout out to him. He fucking loves Daredevil.
Daredevil was my favorite superhero.
Daredevil
far.
was fine for a little
It's
bit.
Daredevil, Spider-Man, Moon Knight. And it's been that since I
Moon
was
Knight.
like 5.
You like the Hell's Kitchen motherfuckers, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn,
I have a twice signed portrait of Moon Knight in my room by the author of Moon Knight.
Okay, hold up. Before we go to the Moon Knight subject, because Moon Knight recently I read through a couple of his stuff. I really like it. But
Brian Michael Bendis' Moon Knight run isn't that good, but that's like that's one of the only things that isn't that good. It's the other one. I think it's like 2016.
so the reason why I bring up Miles is that when it came to that movie, there's too many people. That scene is good. The leap of faith scene is wonderful. I love it. It's up there.
For me, I think the characters were backseating enough that it. Word.
I don't think so. I
Here's-
felt disconnected.
Here's how I felt about Into the Spider-Verse. I felt Miles as the main character was consistently the least interesting person on screen throughout the movie.
I think that's a fair
which
thing.
I felt
But-
really hurt the movie because I think Miles on his own is a great character.
Yeah.
But when he's being made to be less interesting than everyone else on screen,
He's literally
That
the
makes,
rookie.
yeah, that makes sense. I think that not enough people in America have media literacy. I think there's too many people who read the sometimes blue is just blue thing on Tumblr and Reddit and Pinterest, and now nobody knows how to think critically of media.
What's blue is just blue? This is a new one to me.
You know in English when like the English teacher's like the blue in
Oh,
the curtain
never mind.
symbolizes
Yeah.
this, and then like there are all those people online who are like sometimes blue just means blue. You know those people who are like this doesn't actually mean anything. The author didn't mean anything by this, and the author definitely did.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
know
no,
this
I
argument.
think that was a death of media literacy. You know the amount of fans.
This is why anime analysis go hard.
dude, the amount of the amount of the fans of the boys that like are like
A-Train is the
It
greatest
makes fun of both
protagonist.
sides.
Yeah.
no, it makes fun of American political parties and capitalism and companies and
Yeah.
the political right, the global right is what it makes fun of.
Can I talk about how annoyed I am with The Boys?
The newest season, that's my favorite season so far.
I-
so tread carefully.
I haven't watched it yet.
I've
but I
been
just like all the memes.
so like pummeled with The Boys just being shoved in my face
Oh.
all the time.
Yeah, no, I watched it close to when the new season came out, and so I got all of the stuff in and out of the way pretty recently.
But
so.
I was just like, you make me not want to watch it with how much you're shoving it in my face.
I'm the
do
total
understand that.
opposite. I love when something gets shoved in my face. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this.
When something gets shoved in my face, it makes me want to partake in it or less.
Yeah.
No, I'm
like
the total opposite.
because I think I've watched more shows that are when a friend goes, "Hey, you should watch this," and then I'm like, "Okay," I go home and then I don't watch it for like a month, and then like I'll see it and I'll be like, "I have nothing to watch," and I'll watch it and I like it. I've watched more shows off of that than like when it gets recommended to me like every day. Like I can't play. What's the game with the
Undertale.
No, I've beaten Undertale. I played that like years ago though on my Switch when it came out on Switch, but it's one that's supposedly really really good, and it's,
Xenoblade.
No, I don't want to play Xenoblade. But like, and it's supposedly, but everybody who's played it has said it's good, and everybody who knows me who's played it said it'd be right down my alley, and I can't play it.
What is
it?
I wish I could help
Disco
you.
Elysium.
What?
You seen that Disco Elysium? It's like
No.
it's like an overhead, like based off of tabletop RPG game, like full story RPG, and you're in like this fake country, and it,
Bavaria?
Like, it's like the whole game is like anti-fascist. You're like a really shitty cop who like drunk himself to death, came back to life, has amnesia because of it, and you gotta solve this case. And you're like, you go downstairs and you're like,
This
who
is
am I?
Dead
And then
Man meets Spawn.
yeah, you go down there and then you're like, who am I? To the bartender, and the bartender's like, I don't know, man. You came in, you drank, you throw your shoe through a window, and now you're here. And then you go to this guy and he's like, I'm your partner. And then you got to solve this case, and you're like, I don't know who I am. And that's the whole game. And like apparently it's really good. I can't get more than a half hour into it because I know as soon as I learn the mechanics, it'll be fine. But like Connor asked me to play it at least like once a week. And I'm like, dude, every time you tell me I'm not going to play it for another week.
Honestly, I feel like
I'm sure it's good, and I know you love it. I look at it and I'm like, I'll play it later.
I have this thing. It's a lot like that. But anytime somebody tells me I'm gonna like something, more often than not, I do not like that thing that they tell me I'm gonna like.
It depends on the person who suggests it. But a lot of my friends who like know me and suggest things to me, I end up liking. It's just that if it gets suggested to me 24 hours a day,
Yeah, you're
I
like,
don't like it.
Like especially with games, because I have very particular reasons why I'll play games. Like the only reason I ever even
plays Kirby.
I know that this
Kirby
is.
looks
I know that
funny.
this is hot water, considering what you said one sentence ago. But you would like Cult of the Lamb.
No, I'm not gonna play it.
No, but it's genuinely it's Animal Crossing, but you're a lamb cultist and you run, and it's like Binding of Isaac mixed with Animal Crossing.
I definitely was interested in that prior, so
Yeah.
I'm behind on games, so I probably won't end up playing it. But
That's
like,
fine.
there's just so much. There's so many times that I'm suggested a game heavily, and then I play it, and I'm like, this isn't anything special. But like, because the reason why I ever even started playing Monster Hunter was Monster Hunter World, and that's because you could customize your cat. That was the reason why I wanted to play.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about that game.
What?
Jarrett,
Why not?
Jarrett, let's just say.
Caleb was in the party when the last time I played the game.
Let's just say.
and I've not played it 1 second
Let's
since.
just say I beat the game, and I was going to help Jarrett beat the game, and we got to Odegaron.
Which one's that one?
The big red one?
The red
The
dragon.
T-Rex?
No, the red
big red-
the red dragon.
the big
in,
red dragon that breathes fire
Yeah,
and runs around and jumps on you.
yeah. It's like a Komodo dragon looking thing.
I
So
was playing
me,
it.
Jarrett, and Grayson were playing, and
You
me
two
and-
were doing something
me-
off
me
on
and-
your own, and I was like, I'll go kill this guy
'cause
because he's like 3
'cause
levels
I think
under
it was
me.
it was a triple fight quest where we had to fight 3 different monsters.
Well,
so
yeah.
I was like,
There's a
okay,
showdown battle. All three of your.
I was like, okay, I'll take this guy. Grayson takes that guy, and then Jarrett
I
can
remember
take
now.
the easiest guy.
Yeah,
and then
I was like over leveled for it too.
and
I
so
go in.
me and Grayson were just having our good time. I think we killed ours, and we're going to help Jarrett. And then literally all 3 deaths were Jarrett, and we kept trying. And eventually, just hear Jarrett, "I'm done with this. I'm done." And then he left the party, and we're like, "Oh, I guess we're
I
done
was like,
playing
I'm
Monster
never playing
Hunter."
this game again, and I haven't.
And he uninstalled the game.
Yeah, I uninstalled the game and I never played it again. I did a similar thing with Valorant, like a year and a half ago.
Is this his Rage compilation?
No,
This is
I
sort
have
of your
only
rage
done that
comp?
with those 2 games, and I played Valorant since. No, but I was playing Valorant.
No! Don't lie to
And-
us. What about League? What about League?
Oh, with League, it's like, oh, it's my fault.
Oh, it's always your fault.
Yeah, well, I get mad when
He's
it's
fucking
out of-
lying, by the way.
When I get mad, it's because it was out of my control.
Mm.
When I get mad at League, it's because somebody's playing Yorick.
Ah.
When I get mad at Valorant, the reason I quit was because I was having a bad game. I played like 3 games. We got beat pretty badly all 3 games. The last game I was playing, we were like halfway through it, and
You guys just fucking got murked on.
well, this guy runs, or you know how it's like CS:GO and all that. I mean, you've probably seen gameplay.
Yeah. I played it.
This guy pulls out a Phantom, right? This Phoenix. He has a Phantom. I'm on the opposite side of the map,
And
on
he fucking
B-side on
dings you.
Icebox. He whips around the corner, doing a genuine 180. Like he's walking, his back is exposed to me. He whips around and then even goes past me, just spraying his Phantom. Double headshots me through the wall across the map.
So you got clipped on.
Yeah, like
You got a clip.
It wasn't skill. It was pure luck. And like he walks his icebox, his old icebox. So he walks around the corner and he can see me back by my spawn when like I come around the corner because I was defending. He does that to me and I go, I'm not playing this game again. And
You didn't rage? You just...
no, I was like, this is stupid. I'm not playing this game again. And then I uninstalled the game.
Have you ever played it since?
Yeah, I played like twice. And I did really well both times.
Good.
But I was
fucking
also
shit.
placed with shitters.
I love Valorant.
Yeah.
You guys are, it's so goofy hearing competitive shooters like that where you're like, if you move to the left too much, your aim will be reduced by 75%.
Well, in Valorant, your aim is supposed to be reduced whenever you move, but it doesn't matter when you have a gun that
no.
doesn't
Get a fucking
that'll
op.
autocorrect while you're running.
This is why I'm with Fry. Spray and pray.
They play Siege.
That's how people. That's one of the main reasons I stopped playing Valorant because people played like that, and it worked. And it's not supposed to work objectively. Because I was at a place where I was the skill level of gold. Just everybody I was going against didn't play the game like a human. So they would.
What does that mean? They're all fucking like hardcore bots?
Well, they'd get random like gun, like they get like the Stinger, the Spectre, or like the Frenzy or something that has like a high fire rate and like a high mag or something, but shoots quick. And they just run around the map and then you'd go to peek them because they're running and you know where they are, and then as you shoot, they go and like move their mouths like a
animal
Parkinson's patient, and then you die.
I think a Parkinson's patient actually would be mad cracked.
No, there's people who have Parkinson's who play it. There's this guy who's like ascendant, who has tremors, and whenever he shoots, his like hand shakes like that, and he's ascendant.
Would there be an argument to say he's
just better?
No, that he's not better. He's just simply given an ability from God himself just to be better.
He's better than me.
It's Predator 2019 or whatever, the Autism Saves the World.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where he's just literally born to be better than me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And this only beats me in Valorant.
I want to watch Prey.
You haven't watched Prey?
I haven't watched Prey.
It's so
only had good
movie.
things. I heard that they were like they got the formula down.
Yeah,
They were
really
like
did.
they were like all right, that's a Predator movie.
Dan who did 10 Cloverfield Lane, he fucking smashed it.
My uncle watched it in the original native language.
Oh man,
He
I
said
want to
that
do
was
that.
fire.
I want to do that so.
He said that it was really good.
because I watched it in English and then I saw that they have it in the Comanche dub. I was like,
Yeah, he's like, I watched it in Comanche and it was one of the best movies I've seen. Like, perfect Predator. You know what? I keep seeing like these. I want them to just do Predator movies in like different timelines, different parts of it.
Assassin's Creed?
Like
Assassin's
I
Creed,
want
no.
them. Like I saw this guy who pitched it and he was just like, all right, like 1100s Japan. You have an
that's immediately what I thought of.
You have like an older, disgraced samurai
It's always
who is teaching, and in order to redeem himself, he's teaching this lord's son the ways of the samurai, and at the same time, he's training them. He's going to train him at the top of this mountain, and then they're going to go fight this other
There's
samurai
the
for honor.
Yautja on top of the hill.
Yeah, and upon getting to the top of the mountain, they find that everybody they were supposed to fight is dead already. Two predators. One is an older one training a younger one. And so it's the dynamic
that's
where it's
so cool.
where it's the older predator teaching the younger one, and the older samurai teaching the older one. If it was like Japanese,
So I hate to be a stickler though, and how to correct this, but I do know a bit of the Alien and Predator lore. So how Youngbloods work is they don't actually train them like that.
Yeah,
they
I know,
usually
but-
prep them and they're like, all right, here's a planet.
Yeah,
Live,
I know,
bitch.
but I don't care.
I know it would be cool. the only thing I'm going to ask you though, the only
Change the lore.
I know. Apparently,
this one decided to train his son.
Yeah. So apparently in Predator lore, the reason why they sometimes look different, this is new by the way, is air pressure. That's how
You mentioned this.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
pretty
think I
didn't know that.
That's the new lore now, that all the subspecies and how they all look is depending on what environment they are, like that species of Yautja have been raised on. But nerdy shit aside, I'm going to ask you now, because after I thought of a Japan themed, I actually thought of more of like a cyberpunk-esque kind of like
You know, be rad.
Neo
think, like-
Tokyo vibe of it, but the samurai one
I
works
think
too.
like
Is
1300s Europe.
no
Be pretty cool.
Europe would be pretty cool.
Like I honestly like 1300s Highland Scotland, or like 1400s, because then you have like just like it's like an experienced one, and you have
Scotland!
just a guy with a claymore who fights him,
yeah.
and they're just like,
For Scotland,
gonna kill you.
the fact that you did that well. No, so what I was going to ask you before that is, does the Predator end up using a samurai sword or a katana in this fantasy film of yours,
I wouldn't say so. I'd say like
or does it use?
they're
its
just doing one. I'd
swords
say
as like a blade.
I think in my perfect Predator movie, that happens, and then they're fighting them. It's really close, and they together end up killing the younger Predator. And so the older one, more experienced, more dangerous, is now set off for like the last half hour of the movie, and they're being like turbo hunted, and the old guy dies, and the old samurai. And so the young one has to use the training that he's gained to fight this older predator who has been slightly
Is there a
damaged.
rain scene?
What?
Is there a rain
Oh,
scene?
absolutely.
Is it the ending scene?
Like I want whoever makes it to watch, to only watch Kurosawa movies
Oh, let's go.
for like a year and then make it.
This is okay. Question.
You know they're making a Ghost of Tsushima movie.
I know.
The guy who directed John Wick's making it.
No way.
Andrew's hyped for it. He plays it up every time.
He's going to record it in original Japanese too.
Here's a question. What happened to the Metal Gear movie they're supposed to be working on?
Oh yeah, isn't Oscar Isaac?
Yeah, Oscar Isaac's supposed to be Solid Snake.
That's going to be so cool.
What happened?
I think they're just. I think it's
gonna
in
be
pre-production. I think it's just in pre-production.
Is that going to just be military propaganda like Monster Hunter?
Obviously.
Yeah.
But
Obviously.
isn't
Top Gun Maverick is some of the best military propaganda I've ever seen.
But isn't Metal Gear supposed to be about not that?
Well, like I think Metal Gear is obviously anti-military theme-wise, but like you look at it and you're like, this is cool.
Man, I want to join the military.
Yeah, like so. I think it works both ways. I think that if they get a clever writer, they can have it work both ways. I think
I
if
want
they
a
get the right
Death
writer,
Stranding movie.
a Strand type movie.
I want a Death Stranding movie.
Where it's Norman Reedus just walking.
Yeah.
Is the whole
Since we're
movie.
talking about video game movies, the Mario movie.
Fuck that movie. That movie's gonna blow
My
ass.
friend, Craig recently enlightened me on how the Goombas look in that movie.
No way. There's leaks. There's
there
Goomba
been
leaks.
leaks?
Not the new one. I was talking about the old
the
one.
old Mario movie.
nah, that doesn't
Spiky
matter.
faces, and they're big, and and he's
dinosaur
like, "This is what
Goombas.
Bowser looks like, and this is what the Goombas look." I'm like, and the Goombas are the more monstrous ones. I'm like, yeah, the Bowser's like a guy.
Yeah, Bowser's like a business dude.
Yeah.
Yoshi's just a velociraptor.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Yoshi
Wow.
is literally just a dinosaur.
It's reused
I
from
think my favorite
Jurassic
Mario
Park.
and Luigi thing, Mario and Luigi media that I've seen, is the Mario and Luigi like 4 elementary school kids sex talk video. Have you seen that?
I've heard about
Hello,
that. I haven't
Mario.
watched it.
Yeah, where it's like, hello, I'm going to be talking about, my brother is going to be talking about sex.
Hello,
Take it away,
Mario.
Luigi. Hello, Mario. It's incredible.
It is.
No, you don't want an STD.
Why was that so good though?
You know
You've
what?
been practicing.
You know
I know
what?
you have.
Ben and I, in senior year, in junior, well, mostly senior year, when we were running in cross country, we'd run together, and then we'd talk about our idea for a show. It was called
that's
The
right.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Where it's like Breaking
it's-
Bad.
Yeah.
Better Call Saul.
It's Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are fire, by the way. I'm watching Breaking Bad right now, and I've only heard good things about Better Call Saul.
I have yet to watch either.
I'm watching Breaking Bad with Craig right now.
I'm watching Sandman.
Sandman is so good.
Oh, thank
Is it?
God.
Sandman is so good. It is genuinely one of the best first episodes in the modern
I
era.
think it's the best DC property, even though HBO doesn't own
it's
it.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
It's Neil Gaiman. All you had to do is say that it was Neil Gaiman, and it was going to be one of the best pieces of literature in the modern era. The
Yeah.
comic is genuinely one of the best
You need to
pieces
watch
of
it,
literature
Caleb.
in the modern
Yes,
era.
I have to watch
It's-
this. I know
It is shot for shot the comic.
Yeah.
And the comic
Really?
is one of the best pieces of
Literature.
literary media
So
in the modern era.
I was kind of drawn into it by Mark Hamill voicing one of my favorite tropes, which is being a guy with a pumpkin head.
oh yeah, he's the Pumpkinhead guy.
What episode did
Mark
he show up
Hamill's,
in?
Mark Hamill's
He's like
pumpkin
3
head.
and 4. Where's the pumpkin guy who's like, hey, don't tell Dream, but we all know that you run the place.
I can't believe
He has the
Oh,
overalls.
yeah. I
And then he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk to you there.
you really couldn't tell that was Mark Hamill.
I didn't.
Wow.
But Mark Hamill's just such a good voice
unironically,
actor.
Take here, Mark Hamill, when he does voices, you can't tell.
Oh,
it's
he's
Luke
a
Skywalker.
really good. He's a
Oh,
really
no.
good
Yeah.
voice actor.
Well, I've
No,
heard pretty much every single Mark Hamill
They had
voice. so I'm
Patton
pretty-
Oswalt as the Crow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might have to watch
It's
this
on
show.
my favorite episode is when, and I read the comic too. I've been rereading it.
I'm sorry.
And when he fucking dunks on Satan,
I
he
have
goes,
not read.
"Hope, bitch."
I've
I'm
not
like,
read a
"Let's go."
ton. I've not read a ton of the comic.
Yeah,
But I have read. I also haven't read all of American Gods. I'm like halfway through, and then like just other things happen.
it's one of the better
And I've
ones.
watched a good amount of American Gods. American Gods is incredible. I think anything Neil Gaiman touches is just incredible.
I think
that's just the
Mr.
way it
Bigwood
is.
finally got dunked on when who was the most best modern artist or author in a while. It's Neil Gaiman.
Yeah,
Honestly,
he's great.
Sandman goes dummy.
Sandman's fire.
American God.
Fucking American Gods is fire.
I apparently have to watch The
Oh,
Sandman.
what else?
Genuinely, I was gonna
I
watch
had,
Stranger
like-
Things. I watched the first episode of Sandman. I said, "Fuck that."
Yeah,
Immediate.
You should have watched Stranger Things first because then you're like, this is a pretty good. And then you watch Sandman, and you're like, okay, this is
Superior.
This is.
I am more interested in the emo black-haired guy than the Jean Grey wannabe and Mike.
You know how he's like different than like the comic.
Yeah,
how he looks in the comics.
Yeah.
Apparently he looked like they yanked him out of the comics.
Yeah.
In the original pre-production.
Yeah.
Like when they like dressed
Pale
him up,
greenish white.
and they were like, and they gave him the hair, they gave him the clothes, and then they were like, he looks exactly like he does in the comics. And then Neil Gaiman, he's like a producer on it, which is why it was so good.
Yeah.
He goes and he's like, I'm going to change the way he looks. I think that he said, I want a dream that looks like you wouldn't notice him walking down the street.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so that's what they did.
Death being black unironically works. I think she is.
I mean,
yeah.
I think everything that they did to change any of the characters was a good decision.
Perfect. Neil Gaiman just knew his characters. Like in a real life setting, he would look normal. She's definitely that ethnicity. The is it Desire? That's the kind of flamboyant one. I think he's a lot
pretty
different.
androgynous.
Yeah,
I think
he works.
I think they're non-binary.
All of them are. They're all.
Well, yeah, they're all kind of surpassed gender, but
they're not even surpassed gender. They're literally.
They're
how the endless work
ideas.
In terms of power scaling is they're technically how DC says it is that technically they're in all universes. It kind of like they kind of transcend copyright. They're in every universe ever, and they don't have genders. They're just like that because how they choose. They're just like they're far beyond.
Well, I guess that is their gender because gender is a construct.
A little bit, but
socially,
it's
they don't
really
have a
weird.
sex.
There you go. Yeah,
they do have
it's just
they do have a gender expression
design for that year
on a spectrum of masculinity to femininity.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's really cool. I genuinely.
No,
like
I think one of the best characterizations of death in like media and literature and art is specifically art. There's this art piece where it's this child laying on the lap of a woman wearing all white, and she's holding him tenderly. It's like Renaissance art. It's pretty early art. And it's like I think it's called like Death's Sweet Kiss or something, but I'm not sure what it's called.
I'm gonna Google.
But it's like it's like some woman in like all like white clothing and it's peaceful. It's somber, and it's not death isn't like the man with the skull and the scythe coming to reap your soul out of your body. It's the woman to sit there and hold your hand and talk you through it and embrace you into.
I think I've seen this art, but I can't remember
into whatever's next or whatever isn't next. And I think that's kind of like the best characterization of death, in my opinion.
See, I was going to say the exact opposite and say Grimm from Billy and Mandy, but this is
Do you really think death is Jamaican?
Billy, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, that tracks.
Oh, is it this one? Did I literally just find it? Second one?
Yeah, it's that one.
Oh.
So if you want to put it
Where
up, it's called Death in White painting.
Death?
Yeah, Death in White. Yeah, you can just show them. Yeah, where it's the woman.
That's definitely
she's kind, and she bends over and kisses the baby's head, and
that's
as he succumbs to the.
What she's using is more
illness.
for like sowing plants too, so it's not like a harsh.
It's so is that Renaissance?
That's a really nice
or is
way
that
of looking at death.
Yeah, and I think that's one of my favorite.
Is she holding a
iterations of
sickle?
death. Yeah, sickle.
That's fucking.
Which is I guess it's technically can be used for combat. I mean,
but it's more used for like farming.
sowing.
Scythes are used more for farming, and and the sickles are more used. They're Egyptian tools used for like cutting the tops of wheat off.
Yeah,
so, they're
That's
more for
very
dragging
cool.
and hooking.
That is honestly. You don't really see death seen too often as
positive.
That's why I think. That's why I really like the the idea of death as kind and nurturing, and as peaceful. It like people may have like a violent or like a terrifying.
I blame Christianity.
Well, yeah, because like
and the Black Death
in most
Death.
mythology, death is just death. It's not evil. It's not the bad place. Like in Greek mythology, Hades and like
Thanatos.
where everybody goes is like where everybody goes. Like if you're good, then you go to a slightly better place. If you're bad, you go to a slightly worse place. But like death in and of itself isn't a hellscape. That's like a modern idea. Yeah. There is the river that flows through the to the
Rivers-
gates to
there's
Hades.
7
River
rivers.
Styx
There's
is
like
the
7
main
of them.
one that goes into the
Yeah, there's a few.
I tend to think
Cerberus.
that death, people more fear death because they don't understand
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
fact
The
that
fear of
That's
the
why I
unknown is the
think
greatest
that's,
human
that's why I
advantage.
think that's why I really like that iteration is because
Yeah.
it's comforting in your last moments.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
whatever may come next has to come, and that's the way it is.
especially because a lot of people too, when they're about to die, they see like a relative that passed on that they're very close to. Like a lot of people will see like their parents or their grandparents before they die.
And I think
which is
that
something
in
that's
and of itself
really
is, me personally, the most like relevant and convincing argument that there is any sort of supernatural beings,
yeah.
or that death in and of itself might exist. Because if it were to take the form of a past loved one,
yeah. Then
to make it comforting in your last moments, I think that would make the most sense.
It's very symbolic. I don't
Take
think-
whatever form you'd be most comfortable with.
Final score, Alex 26, Caleb 23, Jarrett 17.
Is your mom gonna watch this?
No,
Okay, good. I've been saying fuck the entire time. I was gonna make that a bit in the beginning.
I am not. I would never show this to her.
What if your mom finds out?
Then she finds
So
out.
be it.
It's whatever.
mine and Alex's moms. Well, time to see what our idiots are up to.
For real. But no, my mom, surprisingly enough, my mom's into those like way darker stories. Like she'll be like, damn, that really happened to that character, and she'll get really into it.
I think that's just moms a lot of the time because my mom casually just watches.
My dad won't
48
pay attention. He'll fucking forget it all.
And she's just
My
like,
mom hates anything dark.
Everything
likes-
must be Christian and good.
No, she likes Little House on the Prairie, and she likes Hallmark,
It's wholesome.
and
Just a wholesome
she likes
woman.
Gilmore
Wholesome
Girls.
Wholesome. Sex in the City or no? Is that
No.
too extreme?
No, that's
See, my
that
mom's-
has sex in the name.
my mom's on the opposite spectrum. She'd turn on 48 Hours, and me as a 7-year-old kid would watch it with her, and she'd be like, I'd be like, what's happening, Mom? Oh, this 18-year-old girl got brutally murdered, and they think it's her boyfriend. Like, oh. And then we'd be watching. I'm like, I actually think it was the dad, and I think he did some unspeakable acts to her as well. My mom's like, I think you're right.
You guys were having a live discussion.
She's like, good job, 7-year-old Caleb.
Good job. You morally are correct.
And she continues that tradition with her grandkids because her great grandchild just came to the world, and one of the first TV shows she showed her was 48 Hours.
Were you in the room? You walked in on
I
this?
walked in, and she had the baby watching the TV, and they're watching 48 Hours. And
You shed a tear, a golden tear.
She was telling my dad about what was happening on the show, and she was like, "Yeah, this girl got murdered." And she looked at the baby. She's like, "She got murdered. Yeah, she got murdered." And I was like, "Are you baby talking somebody's death?"
hard.
All right, well, we started this with chicken nuggets. We ended it on murder.
Yep.
I think that's good.
What a great average, totally
The
oblivious
next time you
episode.
show up, we better get some story lore with you.
All right, I'll send you a link.
Give me a link. I'll read this.
We'll bring back the story about how I tried setting you up again.
All right.
Also, we all failed the 100 Nugget Challenge.
I couldn't eat. I got two and
Oh, I
and
just
every one of us
stopped
failed.
caring. I won. 100 right there.
no, you have zero. I have
No,
one.
I have
no.
5 million.
No, you have 5 million. I have 1 million. You have 1. That was the final count, right?
Looks like Alex lost.
Yeah, looks like you lost. Damn. That sucks.
That's too bad. So sad.
I don't have a bit for this.
Well, thank you everybody so much for watching this episode.
If you want Jarrett back, like and subscribe.
yes,
I think he's
and
been our most
subscribe.
interesting.
But like and subscribe if you also
Thank you.
don't want
No
to.
problem.
Yeah,
like,
do
and, like and subscribe just in general.
I think
Dislike if
comment.
you're racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what?
If you're racist, give this video a dislike.
I think that'd actually be bad for the. I don't know how dislikes work on YouTube anymore.
I don't either, but if you're racist, give this video
Actually,
a
if you're
dislike.
just racist, just leave.
Yeah.
I think that's just better.
You
we
should
don't
give a
need you.
dislike before you leave.
Sure, follow that idea.
On this video only,
But if you
though.
breathe air and you enjoy your fellow man having enjoyment in their life, like this video and subscribe and comment and be sure to follow
It's
us on our
fucking hot in
socials.
here.
It is so
Yeah.
hot.
Okay, so
this
I
is why I
wasn't
want to
the
end the
only one.
episode. I'm so hot
I
and
know,
tired
I know.
and thirsty.
Oh my lord. Okay, goodbye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Peace out.